Dude,
God.
Penta, it can see, and so can Rey Mysterio, but you are blinded, bro.
You are blinded.
You're in a
fantasy world.
world.
I can't prove any of my points wrong.
True story. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Beard Bros Breakdown Podcast. My name is RedBeard. Joined by me, as always, is my co-host Krodok. Today, we are doing another tier list. We're going to be doing a movie tier list this time. The last time we did a games tier list, this one's going to be a lot of variations that we've both chosen, 15 each. Again, we can't wait to get into that. But first, Mr. Krodok, how was your week?
It was I don't know. I don't have an answer.
Not the same as last week, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
Not
I don't.
the same. Not the same as WrestleMania week.
Yeah, no, I genuinely can't think of what I did this week. So,
Well,
I guess there's that.
alrighty. Well,
What'd you do?
I guess we'll get into mine. Yeah. I pretty much worked my ass off this week. Every single day, I've gotten home around 6 or 7 o'clock.
Oh, damn.
I start at 7 in the morning. And yeah, it's just like mainly because of the areas that I've been going to. For people who don't know, I work for Amazon. I work for a contractor in Amazon, so it's like an LLC. And yeah, I work for them and love it to death. Like really, like, but it's just so much, and the traffic from where I'm at around Georgia, northern Georgia area, mostly industrial metro area. So many cars, like, but just so many cars, and yeah, it's been tiring me out. So I haven't even checked my hours, but I think I've at least gotten 42 hours this week.
Damn.
And like, I mean, 40 hours is the goal, but like, yeah, those days have been 10-hour days. And I think when I got back today, I was the last guy back. For the first time in a while, I was the last dude back, and he was like, "Yep, I'm ready to go," and I was like, "I know you are." That's just been my week, honestly. It's really just been that and, well, wrestling, because that's our life now.
Yes, it is.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
I guess we'll jump into the notes then. I don't have mine down because keep in mind, people, I do have a good memory. Okay, I promise.
Yeah, he does.
I really remember the big moments, I believe, from um SmackDown, but I do know we do have a new Women's United States champion,
Oh, hell
Zelina
yeah,
Vega.
man.
Long, yeah, Booker. Longest overdue push for someone in a while. Like,
Truly.
she's amazing at what she does. She needs, and now she's getting more TV time. I've been seeing everywhere they have like so much promotional material for her, because like we know Chelsea was doing that. She was like posing like Statue of Liberty. She had like so many like posing with a belt and everything, and Zelina's been doing that a lot, and she's very, very excited. And on top of that, Aleister Black is back, people.
Yes, he is.
Wow, I knew he was coming, but that was phenomenal. Also, his theme song is still with him. It's a Def Rebel rendition. Drums are a little bit louder, but he wasn't Def Rebeled. And
Thank God.
what a great moment for him to debut, and at the same time, his wife win the championship.
Yeah.
It's like it made SmackDown a little bit better this week, because SmackDown's been a little bit that 3-hour runtime. Speaking of that, they're getting cut back down to 2 hours. I found out.
Oh, when's that?
I think they've been saying the end of May.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking they're starting to realize that there's like not much is needed, even though people been complaining about SmackDown. Yeah, it drags. People have been complaining about SmackDown.
This week,
not this week, but it's a format that they really weren't able to handle that well, and like in the very beginning they were, but now it's like
I mean, SmackDown was cooking on 2 hours.
Yeah, it can probably do it again. That's probably why they're going back. So it's like they're thinking
Yeah,
like, yeah, we tried something, but it obviously didn't go well. So,
true.
but yeah, it's going back down to that. But congratulations to Lena Vega and Aleister Black is back.
Yeah, I
Um,
want to just quickly like address the fact that Zelina Vega, I think this is her first title in WWE, if I'm not mistaken, on the
this is
main
her first
roster.
title. She hasn't even had it. I don't even think she got anything from NXT. She didn't even.
Damn.
No, I don't think because she came
Yeah,
up
no.
with Andrade. I don't know if that was her first
Yeah.
managerial position, but she was there with Andrade, and then obviously went on to do her own thing after that, or she was released later on because there was some kind of controversy outside of the WWE with her. She was released, and then they had recently, actually, no, they suspended her. She wasn't released. I think they suspended her and then brought her back, but she might have been released. Correct me if I'm wrong, people, or I can find out later. But she was released because she kind of got into that mix of like when a wrestler or a female superstar wants to make more or know that they can sell brand themselves. She did the Mandy Rose thing where she had her own adult content, and WWE doesn't like that, regardless of it being Vince in charge or Triple H.
Yeah.
They don't like that, but I believe they managed to make a compromise, and that's how Zelina came back. She wasn't obviously
Mm,
pushed right away, but she came back and has
yeah.
been over again. She got over in that Rhea Ripley match in Puerto Rico. That should have gotten her a push long after that. It's taken too long, but I'm glad that she's here where she's at, and I hope she has a long reign. And this isn't just like,
Yeah.
oh, we just want to put the belt on you. She's definitely over. And what I heard, even in the backstage, is nobody knew she was going to win it. They didn't tell any of
Damn.
the talent that she was going to win the belt. Because usually, what I've learned is that they tell people beforehand who's winning the belt that night. Now I can't say if they say that for like Cody and Cena, if they tell anybody. I couldn't even say if they said that for Cody when he won because people came out to the ring and celebrated with him. That probably was planned. But um yeah, nobody knew. And everybody was happy for her, and I'm hoping that this is gonna be a phenomenal reign. It seems that Chelsea Green's taking a break because on her Twitter she said goodbye from being your women's
Yeah, that
United
was
States
weird.
champion, but that doesn't mean she's leaving. People thought she was retiring. She's probably taking a break. I think Matt Cardona is also taking a break where he's at. I think so. I could be wrong. So they might be like having like a little bit time together.
Or
But
maybe.
Chelsea's been doing a lot since she's won that belt. So it's like taking some time
Yeah.
off. Don't know what's going to happen with Piper Niven now, but Fire. Maybe they're going to have a feud with Zelina. Um,
Doubt it.
but we shall see who is eyeing up Zelina's title this coming Friday.
Yeah, I mean, she's an incredible talent. Like she I every single time I hear a promo from her, like anytime she's on the mic, I'm like, "Holy shit, give her the mic every single week, bro. She's incredible." Like she's so good
She's
on
great
the
on it.
fucking
That's the
mic.
thing. Like she's very, very great on the mic. They just, in a way, tried to like get everything done, and then now they can bring her in there because now like there isn't really a big. The only real other female storyline that's happening right now in SmackDown, besides Jade and Naomi, is now going to be Tiffany and Nia. We'll talk about that because now Nia
Oh,
Jax has returned. I don't want this to be a feud again.
me neither.
And I said the same thing. If Tiffany won at WrestleMania, it was going to be her and Nia again, which is probably going to be the Backlash match. They're probably going to announce it this Friday.
Yeah.
Uh,
Also,
and
why are we continuing Naomi versus Jade? Like, I don't.
that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, I got no. You could
I
have
was so
technically.
hyped for Tiffany versus Jade. I was like, "Oh shit!" Because Tiffany was cutting a promo, Jade came out, and I was like, "Oh!" And they had a match, which I don't really remember the match, but it was awesome. I was like, "Dude, yes, give me this feud. I want a feud out of this." But then they were like, "No, we're just gonna repeat some feuds
It's
because
gonna
why
be a
not?"
one-off. It's gonna be a one-off thing. She's gonna Tiffany's gonna retain for sure, and it's just gonna go back to something else because they don't have anyone to. They have Jade, but I'm gonna assume because this is how Backlash works. You either get a rematch from the champion or you get a rematch from a certain person. I'm not saying Jade and Naomi are gonna have a match at Backlash. I think they're just gonna settle it on SmackDown. But normally these kind of cases, it's like it's either they continue the feud and it ends there, or it's like they reopen a feud. I feel like Tiffany versus Nia part 1000 or whatever it is going to happen at Backlash, and Tiffany's going to retain, and that's just going to be the end of that. And then someone bigger is going to come after Tiffany. Probably could be Jade, but Jade has to finish her shit with Naomi, of course. But
Yeah. I mean,
as always, I know both of those are going to put on a show because Nia and Tiffany are talented. It's just it's something we've already seen, and it's been long overdue. It's
yeah,
been too much.
they feuded for so long. And I get they want to
Yeah,
do this because technically Tiffy never beat Nia in a 1v1 match, so they're doing that, right? To make Tiffy like an actual champion. But like I just man, I
yeah,
don't
she hasn't. Yeah, that's right. She hasn't beat her. She really mainly just took the title from her on a SmackDown after hitting her with the prettiest moonsault
and then pinned
and
her in a tag
cashing
match.
in on her and then pinning her in a tag match. So they've had a feud this whole time. They just haven't had a one match, but still, it's like okay, but we've still seen it. It's so it's not
Yeah,
necessarily something you care about that much, but Backlash is just
true.
really the aftermath. So I mean, it's
Yeah, I
it's
guess.
understandable. It's understandable in a way, but
But speaking of backlash, Randy Orton on SmackDown showed up and him and Cena had a little promo battle, and Randy Orton basically parent shames John Cena.
it makes you feel, or it makes me feel,
uh,
because I know your history with WWE is fairly still fresh. It
yeah.
is such a nostalgia moment to see those two facing off again, but the roles are reversed because now Cena's the heel, and this is an '09 heel Orton, or even 2014 for those who remember, like when John Cena was or no, Randy Orton was the unified champion, and then Randy Orton, like the Authority era, everything. Like these two have a phenomenal feud, and I don't care what anyone says. I'm like, oh, we're going back to the old guys, the legends, the old timers are getting their shine again. It's like, yeah, but this is something new, and yeah, it's original, but it's like, or it's not original, but it's great to see it happen. Because
Yeah.
if people thought that like after Cody, John was just going to go down the line and squash everybody and not get a moment where he fights a big guy who has been around as long as he has. Well, I think this is great, and I don't know how further it's going to continue, but this is a great thing to set up. And Randy has been eyeing that title for some time. People thought we were going to have Randy versus Cody at SummerSlam, when now the tides have turned, and now we're getting Cody versus or Cena versus Randy. So now we're getting an even better thing. I'm not saying Cena's going to lose. That's going to be on the predictions episode that we are doing next week, because holy shit,
Hell yeah.
why it's already here. We just
Yep.
got out of Mania and it's already. Get ready for some PLE predictions, man. You're gonna have a whole series. Like we're going, we're getting
Yeah.
ready. But that's yeah, that promo was amazing, and I love like I saw a comment. People were like, "Are people just gonna? Is John just gonna take a bump every time his promo's done?" I'm like, "Hey, it makes sense because every time John Cena used to have promos back in the day, if he was fighting someone, he was the one standing tall all the time. It's
Yeah.
poetry. He
I
was
mean, I
the
think
one
that's the
standing
last time
tall.
we see him till Backlash, though. So,
Yeah, it's poetry. He's always the one standing tall when he was the hero. Now he's the one on the ground when he's the heel. So it's fine. That makes him stronger in the way, if you think about it. But um, that promo was great, and I don't know if you wanted to take the lead on this, but I can't mention it. Fraxium debuted on SmackDown,
oh hell
and I called
yeah,
that shit.
man,
I called that
dude.
shit. I knew they were going to SmackDown. I wish they would have went to Raw, but
Yes.
yeah,
Can we talk about that for a second?
yeah. Go
I
ahead.
I I love Fraxium. I'm glad they're on the main roster. They deserve it. Honestly, one of the best tag teams I've ever seen. They're so good. But like making them go to SmackDown, I get it may is good for them. It's better for Fraxium because a better tag division, and it's actually gonna mean more when they win those titles. Because trust me, they are winning those titles more
They're
than
winning them
once.
one day.
And but like Raw tag division needs so much help. It's trying, kind of, at least right now, but it's still so
We
barren.
need a fucking draft, dude. We
Yeah.
are we are scrambling, dude. We have like what, three tag teams on Raw and like 10 on SmackDown. I don't even know, including the women's
Yeah.
division. We have more on SmackDown than anything. It's like that's where SmackDown's like killing it. Yeah, like you and speaking of that, Liv Morgan is going to be in a Hollywood movie soon. So why give her the tag title back if she's not going to be there probably a lot, unless she has an open schedule where she will. But if she stops showing up and then Liv and then Raquel is just holding on to that belt for no reason, that just tells you right there that there was a bad decision not to give that shit to Tatum and Gigi
Yeah.
Dolan. So
True. Because
yeah, if the fact that Liv starts to become a part timer and she's barely on TV, and if they barely defend those titles this year, that's some bad booking right there from Triple H. I'm sorry. You're now starting to treat the women's tag titles like shit. They're going back to what they used to be at one point where they weren't defended as much. They weren't shown enough love.
yeah.
Drop him off to NXT. Let Sean take care of him. You know, he'll be fine with them. He
Yeah,
doesn't
there's
have
so
an
many women in
there's
NXT,
there's no
especially tag teams.
until there's an NXT women's tag team title. Put that over there. Just
Yeah.
like, I don't know why there isn't an NXT Women's Tag Title yet because there's tag teams over there. But
So
this is your
many.
best bet. This is your best bet. Just give it to them.
Yeah, and plus you can make tag teams easily in NXT, like because there's so many women. There's so many women in NXT. Like there's so many women that they're on the main they're coming to the main roster now to help the women's division. Like just put the tag titles there, man. Like come
Oh no,
on.
yeah, it's been crazy of worlds colliding with NXT stars on Raw and then and then main roster stars on NXT. It's like that is something crazy that like they're doing now, which they're making, aftermath of Mania better. It's still some
Yeah.
kind of small, you know, things that I don't care for on Raw or SmackDown with small little decisions, but this kind of decision is making it awesome. And Io Sky is fucking phenomenal. Her reign right now is the best reign she's ever had. Better than being a tag team champion. Better than being like she's done so much, but like right now her current run is her best run. And the woman is so damn happy. She's the most joyful
It's so
person
wholesome, dude.
all
So
around,
wholesome.
dude. It's like she rides in a blimp and she's like, "Oh my god!" Like it's just amazing, dude.
Uh,
The most wholesome person. She's just like happy to do what she loves, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah, when she was on NXT, she had this like backstage segment with Jordan Grace where she teams up with Jordan Grace on NXT, right, to
Yeah,
fight Julia. I actually forget who they fought.
these kind of
Whatever.
things are important to let marinate over time because yes, she did. She was over, when she won Money in the Bank in 2023, and
Yeah.
yeah, she got her first belt or her main roster belt, but in a way she was leading into a heel, so of course they were going to start hating her for what she did to Bailey and including damage control. So like that run was great, but she wasn't defending it as much. Keep in mind she hasn't defended it much after Mania yet. She's been on TV, like she's been showing up,
Yeah.
she's been the star.
She's even been
Like
on
I could
NXT.
see
She's been doing
her.
double duty.
No, she's starting to become the like, and I can see Rhea's helping her with that shit. Rhea is putting her over so much. Not even really. They don't really have anyone has to put over. But I'm just saying, like Rhea's being that person there who's helping that and including others as well. That I potentially see Io Sky being the female star of the year, pretty much the face in a while because Liv has had
Yeah.
it, Rhea's had it. I know Becky Lynch is back, but Becky Lynch is a veteran. She's had her time. We'll get into that because yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know if you have any
yeah.
more on SmackDown, but I
I have a lot
know
more on
the
SmackDown.
tag team titles were up. That that triple
Yeah.
threat ladder match.
Yeah, dude, why was this not on the Mania card, man? Like, why was this passed over for the War Raiders versus New Day? Actually, I know why, but it's stupid. It's because it's so they could advertise Clash of fucking Clans. But like, Seriously, man. This was a Mania match on SmackDown on free TV. It was so good. This is like the TLC match that people are going to talk about for ages, bro. This TLC match was incredible. It's like the Edge, Dudley's, and the Hardys ladder match, bro. This shit's awesome.
No, they were killing each other. I'm pretty sure Tommaso Ciampa busted his chin open and he had to shave his beard
Wait, wait,
off.
wait. Yeah, like what is that, bro? I'm sorry. I didn't know I was looking at Johnny fucking Sins. Like what?
Yeah, he had to shave
No.
it off. The only way that he was gonna get those stitches in is he shaved it off. Like it'll grow back quickly. He's already growing it back, but yeah, he
How
looks like
he
Johnny
looks so
Sins.
weird without his beard. He is the beard. His beard is him. He needs the beard. It's uncanny. He looks like an alien, not the same guy. That's not Tommaso Ciampa, okay? That's Coyote fucking Peterson. Like who the fuck is that, bro?
First of all,
Anyway.
I'm the beard, but anyways, no, he has. I mean, he's like trimmed it up a bit
That
too.
just
Like he used to
triggered me.
be.
I'm sorry. I don't know why. It
It,
just really triggered me.
I mean, yeah, he looks weird, but obviously, like when those that wound is already healing on his chin, it's definitely going to grow back soon. I hope it doesn't like isn't one of those scars where it's a patch, but I feel like he'll grow that out again soon. But no, he was really busted open. Like I've saw his Instagram and his Twitter. Like he had to shave it just because they had to stitch that up. But it'll grow back in due time. But
Get better,
he's
please.
trimmed it down to like around his neck before. But yeah, it used to hang low, but like down to his chest. So
Yeah, I
I mean,
mean,
I've seen him with a full head of hair. He was on like long time ago on an old segment of like I think SmackDown. He was like a lawyer or something, and he had long slick back hair and glasses. And that was like his first appearance, but he wasn't Tommaso Ciampa. He was just like somebody's lawyer. I can't remember who it was.
uh,
I mean, Joe Hendry's shown up on
yeah,
WWE before as like a a random guy, but
pretty sure it was Rusev's lawyer.
yeah, Rusev's lawyer. It was recent, yes. So like, yeah,
Yeah. But also like during that tag, during the TLC match, I mean, Street Profits won, which is correct decision, I believe. Like they're
yeah.
doing good, but also, dude, oh, sorry, I almost like I kind of got emotional during that match because there was that fan with a prosthetic leg, and Montez Ford used the
That
prosthetic
was
leg as a weapon.
insane.
That was awesome. Like
That was
I was so wholesome.
insane,
So
dude. I was like,
wholesome.
what is going on?
I love that, dude. I love that.
That's not the first that every time that's ever happened in the WWE where like somebody gives you a weapon but in a leg. I was like, and there's no way in hell that that was planned.
Yeah, no, I love that
WWE would
Montez
like.
did
I
that
know
for him,
WWE is not
for the
above
fans.
shit like that, but this isn't Vince McMahon era anymore. So like, I know Triple H wasn't like, "Hey man, can you give him his leg?" Like, I know that wasn't
Yeah,
a.
dude, I just it's so wholesome to see like that happen. I don't know. I loved that. That almost made me cry. I got emotional. I don't
Yeah.
know why. I just did. But I think I've been pretty emotional this week, so maybe that's what it is. But
No, the one,
anyway.
the main wholesome thing that I saw was on the Raw when Jay went up to that kid in the front row. He was a kid that recently ended his cancer.
Oh, I saw
That was
that. Yeah.
amazing. That was so
Yeah.
wholesome. Yeah, it was a really wholesome moment. Yeah,
Dude, WWE's been wholesome as fuck this week.
they have been.
Very wholesome this week. I
However, on
love
their
it.
social media, it's
Bad
been
PR.
back. They're bad PR recently, but in the on the show itself, yeah. But
You know what?
that's my
Scratch that.
SmackDown.
WWE hasn't been wholesome. Wrestlers have been wholesome this week.
There you
There we go.
go. Yeah,
There
wrestlers
we go.
choose that. They don't go out there and say, "Hey, hug that kid," you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
But
that's my
also,
SmackDown.
I
What else
wanna,
happened?
I wanna, I have a lot to talk about. So let me just run through these. All right. All right. So John Cena, this is still SmackDown. During the John Cena and Randy Orton promo, I just love that John Cena started roasting every single parent watching. He's just like, I raised your kids for 25 years.
He like
You all suck. I'm a better parent than any of
he was
you.
doing it while in between saying shit to Randy. He would just go over there. I love
Yeah.
his like heel work. He's just being
Uh,
mean to the people.
but he's
Oh my
kind of
god,
right.
a 5-year-old gave me the finger. Wow, great parenting. I was
He
like,
was
let's
kind of right
go, dude.
though, man. He
I
was
mean,
kind of
he's
right.
been
Like,
right the whole time, minus a few things where it's like you guys didn't give a shit about me when we were like obviously cheering for him in the last couple of years. You know, Austin Theory beat
yeah,
him, and we didn't like that. But it's a specific points in time where he's running off of. He's not just saying like the last couple of years because from like 2011 to briefly like 2015ish, 16ish, he was being booed. Probably as funny, but like he was getting the hate.
yeah,
But like when he came back around like 2016, had his first feud with like Roman and other shit, he was getting the cheers again. And then obviously like in his last years when he came back and fought like Tribal Chief Roman, you know, things changed a bit, but
yeah. Because
those years
nostalgia
I think
takes over at those points.
I think
You
he's
know?
referencing most of those like 20 beginning of 2010s years and some of the years even we said in the video package he was even bringing up ECW shit like when they're like fuck you Cena, which is like an iconic chant because nobody from ECW liked the WWE people, you know.
Yeah,
Even though Rob Van Dam was trying to be respectful and that, but that was just like they knew that shit was going to happen, I think. But
yeah.
great
Um,
reaction.
True. Yeah. Like also, so during the show, Solo Sokoa and Jacob Fatu came out, and I just want
Oh
to talk about the
yes,
men's U.S. Champ division. And Solo, but say basically Solo was like, Jacob. I'm the reason you're here. I brought
yeah.
Jacob here, and he became a U.S. Champ. And listen, I know Jacob got upset and was like, I did this, but also Solo's right. Like, I mean, he is right.
Solo did
If it
bring him
wasn't for
into it, yeah.
Solo,
Solo
like
did bring
Jacob
him
would
in.
not. Yeah.
I also like a good point that from a YouTuber I watched called the Great One. Shout out. Um, he made a good point. That people were trying to understand, like, or not understanding that the U.S. title means something. There's a lot of people that were kind of strange on why Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre of all people are eyeing up that belt when they've
Hmm.
already won above that belt. Now, keep in mind here, the World Heavyweight Championship, it is a world title, but it is still in a way considered the mid card title because the WWE title is above it and everything else. In a way, I'd say it's above the IC title, but it's still on the same level. Just means more, but no. This belt has meant something for so many years. Even after John Cena had like one John Cena went 1 year, I believe, after winning the World Heavyweight Championship, winning the spinner belt. There was 1 year where he was United States champion because I think he beat Seth Rollins for it. And he was doing opening challenges every week. Like, no one's above these belts. They've done it
Yeah.
all. So now having Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, and um, Jacob Fatu both all together, which could potentially be a fatal four way, but I don't think it'd be a backlash match. It could be.
Maybe.
I don't think it needs to be, but it could be.
Yeah.
But them eyeing that up, it makes that belt mean something. It's the same thing with the IC title. They all mean something respectively. So like they're
Yeah.
not above anything. They are trying to get these titles on their name. Because if they were above anything, then John Cena never would have went after the United States title multiple times. It's like there's
True.
so many champions that like could have already went. I mean, Gunther was NXT UK champion, and instead of going straight for the World Heavyweight title, even though it wasn't there yet, he went for the IC title. He could have went straight to the damn WWE title if he wanted to. It's like it's just putting titles under your name and making your
A
name mean
title's a
something.
title. Like
Yeah,
that's the
title's a
thing.
title. United States title is a title. It You're the champion of the United States pretty much. It's like it means something. So just because Drew McIntyre, who's been WWE champion and World Heavyweight champion, and Drew, who's been World Heavyweight, does not make them lesser
Yeah.
than anyone. You're making it mean something.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
And depends
shut your
on like
mouth. Know your
your.
role.
Yeah. It depends on your run with
It's
the
a great
title too.
title. Yeah, it's a great
Like.
title, and I'm glad they're like making it mean something again. Like LA
Yeah.
Knight was, and I mean, whether you want to say it or not, Logan Paul did make it mean something. He held that shit he held it for a long time, but it's
Two
not even just.
defenses,
Well,
bro.
here's the thing: it's not even just that. He took it everywhere with him. Like in real life, people didn't know what the hell it was. People were like under trying to understand. Like he did in a way, love him or hate him, he did in a way make that title mean something by carrying it around with him all the time, showing it off. Pretty much
Well,
in a way was he was respecting the product. You know, like
yes, I agree,
that's a
but he still should have
he
had more matches.
he did should have had more matches, but he did have great PR tactics with that thing. Like that man had
I
it
agree.
everywhere, even in settings you didn't even need that belt. So
Yeah,
love him or hate him, I respect him for like trying to make that belt mean something, which it does, and it is now. So
yeah. But speaking of Drew and Damien, why are they kind of continuing this feud that nobody cares about? Like,
I thought it was over at Mania. I thought that was it,
same.
but I
It should
don't
have been.
think. But now it's not just them two anymore. Now it's like all four of these guys.
I'm fine with that if that's the case. I just really don't want it to continue into a singles feud
Yeah,
again.
because some of these feuds that like happen at Mania should have like ended at Mania, and I know that some
Yeah.
of them have.
I feel like almost every
Very
feud should end at Mania. I feel like Mania is the big place. That's where you want feuds to end. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I mean, because it's like Naomi and Jade, but it's like they also didn't get much but promos afterwards. But I feel like they're just gonna keep their shit on SmackDown afterwards. It's like really don't need it anymore. It's probably gonna go to SummerSlam, and that's where you're gonna end it. Because some of these things either begin at Mania and end at SummerSlam, or end at Mania. But yeah,
Yeah.
I get what you mean.
But yeah, also speaking of US divisions, I know we already went over Zelina Vega winning, but I do just want to get your thoughts because I can't think of a single person for Zelina Vega to feud with. Can you?
Only person that I know, it's either somebody's gonna have to come back. Now if Lopez was still around, which he's gone from LWO or Legado del Fantasma, she could have done it because she is actually a singles competitor. She just was a
Yeah.
manager for Legado. But if I want to think about it, they'd probably pull someone from random. It's not necessarily would be a great feud, but it could be an interesting feud. I know people are like Michin or something, but like you could throw in. It's just like there's so many like smaller talent of the women's on SmackDown. You could throw in the likes of you could do Piper Niven. They have had good
Oh,
matches.
yeah.
You could bring back in Shotzi, even though she's in a way over at NXT.
Yeah.
You can make so many interesting matches. You could do an Alba Fire thing because if Chelsea's going to be off for a minute, they're going to have to figure out things with Piper and Alba Fire. They're going to have to still worry about them. But like between like that, like Michin, Shotzi, Alba Fire, Piper Niven, so many things. Because like everyone else is just focusing on something, and then I thought about Candice LeRae. I just like
That's a good one.
that's a good
That's a
because
good
just
one.
like what is she doing? She's not
Yeah.
really she didn't come back with Nia yet, but there's potential, and I hope they find some good ones because like with Chelsea, it was like it really was hard for them to find some. Not always, but it was mainly been Zelina the whole time. But
Yeah. Here's how I
Candice LeRae
know
could
that
work.
WWE is struggling to care about the women's mid card because it's a struggle to think of the women's mid card and who could face Alina. Like we can barely think of anybody in the women's mid card. So WWE should be doing a better job of building up the women's mid card.
Well,
But
luckily, it's getting one of the women's mid card is getting on a pay per view at Backlash. So, um, and if Lyra retains, that's going to put her over a lot.
she will.
I do not necessarily believe that like, and people are like, "Ugh." And again, being above a title, I've seen people saying that Becky's above the IC title, dude.
Not
That's not.
true.
No, it's not. It's the first ever women's IC title. It wasn't there in her prime. It wasn't there when she came up. The only
Yeah.
real thing you had was the women's championship.
Probably
That
wants to
was
be
it.
Grand Slam champ, bro.
Yeah, she could be Grand Slam champ, but not right now. I don't think that should be the case.
Well, yeah, me neither. But
I, in a way, would have. I have. The funny thing is like this. This won't count towards my predictions because the predictions episode is next week. But I have a sinking feeling that Bailey could return at Backlash and cost
okay,
Becky. I'm just Becky feud, SummerSlam. Mm,
that'd be
I
cool.
mean, there's some because I'm not even getting on to Raw yet because I don't know if you're done with SmackDown, but
I'm not.
it's been revealed that Becky Lynch is the attacker of Bailey, which they kind of made it clear
Uh,
here. They pretty
yeah,
much told the fans this is a fucking stupid story. The fact that
yeah.
they didn't even like have any like video package ready. They didn't have
Well,
any
no, I think the
backstage.
story is cool, okay? I think it's a good
Okay,
story.
it's good, but I guess they're getting right to the point, and it's gonna be. I don't know what's gonna happen,
I
but
think you're just letting the whole Bailey being not on the WrestleMania card.
well,
I feel
no,
like
no, 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 no.
everybody no, I feel like
I'm
everybody
upset.
is letting the tag title thing and the Bailey not being on the mid card thing, like,
Okay,
just ruin this for them, but it's a
no,
good feud.
I'm upset. I'm just saying, like, usually when this stuff happens, like, I didn't know she was gonna jump right into it and say that she attacked her. I was like, expecting some sort of story to happen for a little bit of a while, and wonder what was going to go on there. But I mean, if they want to get right to the point, I guess so. But I guess that could help. But in a way, I believe Bailey
Backlash
would.
is right around the corner, they kinda have to get right to the point.
Yeah, you're damn right about that. But I feel like Bailey's going to return it and like cost something. Something's got to happen. There's no way like they're feeding Lyra to her. Lyra was completely, like, people were behind her on Raw. It's like there's no fucking way. If they do that shit, I will be disappointed.
Yeah, but Becky's kinda right. Like, let's think about this for a second here. Becky is kinda justified. Like, why would the person she's been mentoring for ages team up with the person that made her life a living hell for
No, she's
years?
justified because Bailey was a heel.
Yeah.
Bailey was a heel, and also from like into Damage Control was a heel. Just because like you turn baby faces, I mean, shit. It's like it's saying if like Brock Lesnar or like Roman Reigns randomly, because he is technically face. That's the same thing with Seth Rollins. How he feels about
Roman
Roman
still
Reigns,
hasn't apologized, by
but
the way.
Roman has the same feeling about Seth. Like Seth also hasn't fully apologized. Yes, the Shield reunited multiple times, but that core memory of being betrayed is still in Roman's head. Like that's still something he can't let go, and
Well,
probably
I'm
will
saying Roman hasn't
never let
apologized
go.
to his bloodline, to any of the bloodline members.
Yeah, he hasn't yet.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing. He's definitely not on the backlash card. He's definitely taking another break.
Actually, before we continue any further, though, I do want to talk about the bloodline as a whole, and I think it's over. Like, I think after WrestleMania 41, I think like the bloodline is like kind of officially done, or at least it's on hold until WWE knows that The Rock can actually do something instead of saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna come here to boost the ratings and do nothing about it afterwards." I'm an idiot.
I think that's gonna be Triple H's revenge. He's gonna completely forget and scrap that storyline. Because what I've been hearing is that like Triple H and Rock are butting heads right now with shit. Like Triple H has been heated, and yeah, Triple H might start changing shit that Rock was involved in and be like, well, if you're not part of the story, then I'm gonna change the story. So yeah, they're not even worried about the bloodline anymore. Like
Well, I
Solo
think the
and
bloodline should
Jacob,
be over. Like it was a
it should be
nice
over.
four-year
It
thing.
needed a better ending, but I think it did end
Yeah,
when Roman got the Ula Fala. Like,
yeah,
yeah, there's still members. Tonga Loa's still out there. I can't say he'll fully come back randomly because then you got to revamp that storyline to bring him back. But he could come back if,
yeah. No, I
say,
think it's just
like
gonna be a thing where bloodline's like gone after Solo and Jacob like split after feuding because they're definitely gonna feud. After they split, I think everyone's just gonna be on their own by that point. You know, I
Jacob
think
and Solo are definitely going to be a SummerSlam match.
Yeah, I think the Tongans are gonna come back together as just like a tag team. They're just in the tag division. You know, they're not part of like the bloodline or anything after. I think that's what's gonna happen. I think it's just gonna
Yeah,
be like every bloodline member kind of does their own thing from here on after
yeah,
Jacob and Solo.
that's what it seems like they're doing, and yeah, for sure.
Because I'm sure Triple H wanted to pay off the bloodline storyline with The Rock, but you know, if
Hmm.
The Rock ain't gonna show up, then gotta kind of just get rid of it.
Who
So
gives a damn, you know?
yeah, but for SmackDown. We talked about how Aleister Black came back, and I'm happy about that. I love Aleister Black so far. Like honestly, Aleister Black and Rusev, I'd never seen them like really that much before. I don't even think I've watched. Well, I did watch a Rus. I think I watched one Rusev match. I don't think I've, and like maybe one Aleister Black match in NXT. But other than that, I haven't like seen anything with them. But I just want to say, like, I think they're easily becoming like maybe some of my favorite wrestlers already. But before Aleister Black came out, The Miz cut one hell of a promo. Like just an incredible promo, dude. And I know everybody like hates on The Miz for some weird reason. Why do people hate on The Miz? I'm not even actually sure. Why do people do that?
They just don't like his cockiness and his. he's his character is that he's full of himself and it's his ego. They don't like that. Even though there's so many wrestlers who have done that angle and they favor, they just don't. I don't know. I think they're also upset that he hasn't gotten a big push in a while, so they're just tired of seeing him. Miz is great. Miz in the beginning, yeah, started off and nobody liked him, but the Miz is great.
Yeah.
He's not he is the comedic effect in a way, but it's like I think they're just hating because they're tired that he's not getting anything, which makes sense to me a little bit, but
Well, he's mentoring
it's
Carmella right now.
forced. Yeah, I think it's forced. I think it's
Yeah,
forced. They just don't know who to hate at this point. It's forced
probably.
in a way.
Um, but one last thing for Smack, actually two. One of the things is Bianca Belair is injured. I just kind of wanted to acknowledge that. I hope she gets
Oh
better
yeah,
soon.
I forgot to. Yeah, I forgot about that.
But
Shit.
yeah, and then also I want to talk about the funniest thing that happened on SmackDown. There's an R-Truth and Cena segment where R-Truth is like, "Don't
Oh
worry, no matter
yeah.
what, I love you, Cena," and Cena just doesn't say anything and walks away.
They finally that finally happened because that's what's the funny angle is like Cena's his childhood hero, yet he's like older than Cena, so it's the
No,
weirdest
during
kind of.
the during
Oh
the segment, he's like, he freaking says, "Man, I want to be like him when I grow up."
yeah, you're already grown up. It's just like yeah,
Uh,
it just makes no sense to. I think it's just that thing, but in a way, he has admired Cena. Like even when he was on the Indies and when he was in TNA, he has admired him. But yeah, the whole
that's
he's my
fucking
childhood hero when he's
hilarious.
like 15 years older. I think I'm like, damn, all right.
No, it's like 3 years older, but yeah.
Oh yeah, they're both like 40. Yeah, so like
Well, no,
it's
Archer is like 55.
well then it's not 3 years because Cena is 47 years old.
Oh,
Or I think he just
yeah.
turned 48. Yeah, yeah. So like R-Truth is like at least 8 years older. So it's a kind of
Yeah. Oh, he's
child
53. My bad.
Yeah, childhood hero. Okay, so like yeah, a couple years. So like you're pretty much right, almost three to
Yeah.
four. So it's kind of yeah, but it's just like it's a funny angle because I was like, is it true? How young is our truth? I'm like, he's not even young.
He looks young though.
I think the character because I think the character is supposed to be like younger than he is because like he is kind of like a in a way. I can't say what his character kind of is. It is a goofball character, but it makes you wonder if his character is based off of like an autism kind of like maybe learning curve disorder because like he kind of can be that way, but I don't think he's like that stupid because he can be smart, but
Yeah.
his character's kind of like that. Like I mean, him seeing little Jimmy when he was kind of is kind of a mental character, but it's like not the psycho mental character.
Yeah, true. All right. Well, that's all I had for SmackDown, but that was the SmackDown after Mania. What do you like? What's your overall thoughts on the SmackDown after Mania? Like, is
SmackDown
it
after
like better than any other SmackDown
it
after
was a
Mania,
good.
or like
There's I haven't paid so much attention to the SmackDown after Manias, but that was a good one. Like it didn't have the every jaw dropping moment after another and on Raw's after Mania because that one had so many.
yeah.
One that was predictable, obviously the Becky and turning on Lyra. That one was kind of like a for me because like I knew it was gonna happen, but like it wasn't a jaw dropping moment. But everything else like that Raw was great, but SmackDown it did deliver like with a title change, a phenomenal TLC match, Aleister Black returning. It's like yeah, that SmackDown was good. It wasn't great, but it was better than what we've seen recently, and a good
Mhm.
SmackDown after Mania. Um,
Yeah.
for sure, it was really good.
All right, but moving on to the Raw. It started out with Sammy and Seth cutting the first promo of the night on each other, and I kind of forget what happened in that
Seth
promo,
came out like an
but
Egyptian god.
he did, yeah.
The dude had like eyeballs on his glasses. That was pretty much Sami Zayn was pretty much calling Seth a hypocrite. That Seth
Even
was that
though Sammy is a hypocrite while saying
well,
it, but whatever.
yeah, well, it's the thing. It's like yeah, because Sammy had aligned himself with Roman Reigns
Like a few
once
months
again.
ago.
Yeah,
Like
once again. But the hypocritical part comes through where it's like every person that with Punk or Roman had in common was Paul Heyman by their side, and now Seth has Paul by his side, so now he's calling him out for being a hypocrite with that, even though Sammy was in the bloodline at one point. And during that whole segment, like it's like if you're not with us, you're obviously against us. Reminds me of the Nexus because that was their damn saying, the Nexus. If you're not with us, you're against us. But pretty much that is a threatening manner right there, and Sammy was pretty much doing his normal promos as usual, and
Yeah,
that was a great first opening segment. Like
I
literally,
agree.
dude came out like the villain that he is, and
Yeah. I think we should just skip right to the main event since we're already talking about Seth and Sammy. Like, I just so throughout the show, like different things would happen where first it was like Paul Heyman saying what the deal is. If Sammy chooses to go to SmackDown, he'll get an immediate shot against whoever wins at Backlash for the title. And honestly, if I'm Sami Zayn, I'm easily taking that deal. Like, what's the issue there? But whatever.
I thought about it
Anyway,
too. But storyline wise, I knew he wasn't going to take it because
yeah,
automatically feuding with Cena randomly or Randy, even though Randy and Sammy have a history in a way, but feuding randomly like that would be weird to me. So, and I know Sammy how he is; he wasn't going to take that at all.
yeah.
But consequences came, and well, after that,
Well, I
did they,
mean,
did they finish
Karrion
that match?
Cross
Did
also
him and
talked to him first, and
oh,
Jey
Karrion
Uso.
Cross is dude, Karrion Cross is insane. Oh my gosh, he's a
Dude, he needs a
that
push
dude
so
needs a
fast.
push, bro. I need a push.
Every fan wants him to get one too, but
He has a documentary, I think, coming out. It's called The Killer
oh,
because in the Indies, I believe it is. I heard people were saying it was a movie, but I think it's a documentary. It's pretty much his life on the Indies, life during like his rise in NXT. After being at NXT, it's called The Killer because on the indie scene he goes by Killer Cross instead of Carrion.
hmm,
But it's called The Killer, and it's a documentary coming out soon that I'm going to be watching. I may even review it on the channel. Um,
hmm,
Possibly, might not, but we'll see. But
okay,
because there's these kind of things that are coming up that like docu series and stuff that I
yeah,
want to review. I haven't watched LFG yet, and I've
it's
wanted to
so
review
good.
it, but I've kind of been watching people review it already. So like, there's other people doing it, so probably not. But future stuff like that, if there's any documentary stuff coming out or anything, I'll definitely review it on the channel. Or hell, we both will. It doesn't matter. We'll see. But
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
for the future. But that yeah, Karrion Cross is getting a push this year. After that work shoot,
Oh
fuck
hell yeah.
yeah. But did they
But
finish the main event? Did it like
what?
did the main event finish? Like did Braun
Yes,
beat him, right? Okay, Braun beat him, and then there was like a shit going on.
yes. So, because how it happened is also I'll talk about it after I explain what happened, but I have an issue with this. I'll say it after. But basically, Seth, so Braun and Sammy fight because Seth is like, please, Sammy, I beg, just take the offer, Sammy, take it, please. And then Sammy's like, of course not, Seth. You can go straight to hell. Anyway, he does the typical Sammy thing. Anyway, then Braun and Sammy fight, and it's going and going, and then Braun hits him with a spear, a super spear running on the ropes, then another, and basically the refs call off the match because they're like, he's too injured to continue. And then
Oh yeah.
Seth comes in and like talks to Braun, pushes him up against corners, like, listen, there are some people in this business that deserve our love and respect. There are some people that deserve everything. Look at him. He is not one of those people. Watch how it is done. And then he fucking stomps Sammy. I have an issue with this. And that issue is they didn't do enough for me. I feel like I wanted to see Sami Zayn bleeding from the head. I wanted to see Sami Zayn unable to move. Like I wanted to see the true destruction capable from Seth and Braun in this new faction. I didn't feel that because Seth was like, I don't want to have to do this to you, Sammy. Don't make Braun do this. But I didn't feel that. It was just a couple spears and a stomp. Like I wanted to see Sami Zayn bleeding from the mouth, bleeding from the head. I wanted to see that guy injured for like 6 months, kind of thing. If he refused it, like faction to be truly established as like dangerous as hell. But I didn't get that. I
I
don't
feel
know.
like
Maybe
we
that's just a
will
me
at
thing.
some point, but I felt differently because I was like amazed by this because years ago, like pre-pandemic, Seth kind of had this run where he was a heel and he was
The
this
Messiah.
vision, yeah, the Monday Night Messiah, which I like found it kind of weird, but I know it's a Vince McMahon based character because the man himself has weird issues with God. I just think sometimes like these kind of angles is like I know there's not everyone's religious and I am, but it's like these kind of angles I'm like I don't care. I always thought because he looks like a young Jesus in the face or something, this is why his hair and his beard is. Maybe that's what Vince McMahon thought. That is a Vince McMahon made character, but this character right here is what the Monday Night Messiah should have been because he's the heel again. He has a little faction. No, you don't have the AOP surrounded by him. It's different, but he's been this way before, where he's like, "I'm giving you a chance, or I'm going to run you through the floor." It's pretty much what it was. It was like, "Join me, or I'm going to take you down." It's like the Dark Messiah. He's pretty much like the bad version. So this one is
Yeah.
not the Messiah. He's probably still the Visionary, but it's like in a way
Because
where
it's a
it's
vision
like,
for the future of the
yeah,
WWE.
it's
It
like I'll
runs
do
through him.
anything. Right, I'll do anything I can, and I'll offer you a second chance, or an offer you, a way out of this. But if you don't take it, then well, I'm going to destroy you. Pretty much what it is.
Yeah, but I don't feel like you destroy them. That's the difference.
No, he didn't do enough. But I mean, to me, I liked like it though.
Oh,
Like there was
I
mixed
liked it. I just feel
boos.
like there should have been more. You know
There
what I
was
mean?
mixed, there was mixed boos and who, and his song. It's gonna be a minute. He has to do something really insane for them to fully boo him and
Yeah.
not sing his song. They're still gonna do that with Braun, but it's like they have to do something insane. It Sammy wasn't the most insane. They have to attack someone that everyone loves more than Sammy, and we'll see what they do for the next couple of weeks. But I think it was okay. I liked it a little bit.
No, I liked it a lot. I love the concept. I love what they're doing. I really think they should have gone harder with making Sami Zayn regret his actions. Like, I really think they should have made him bleed, like, a lot or something. Just something
Yeah,
more. I don't know. Because it didn't feel like as bad as Seth made it sound, I guess. Like if Seth just didn't make it sound so dangerous to not accept his offer, I feel like I would have been fine with it. But he made his offer sound like it was like Braun would kill Sammy if he didn't accept, but I
this
didn't
isn't
feel
the
it like
last of
that.
like their tyranny. They have so many more things that people they're probably going after. They're
Yeah,
definitely going to make a name, but
yeah. But
um,
I skipped to the main event, but I do have more stuff for Raw.
yeah. But I was gonna say,
Oh.
nice Rusev promo. I think you were mentioning
Ooh,
Rusev like you haven't seen
yes.
this man. That
It
video
wasn't a promo,
package
it was a
helped it.
vignette. Yeah.
Well, vignette promo, but yeah, like a backstage pre-recorded
Mhm.
promo. But it was really nice because
I loved it.
see the thing is because you don't know much about Rusev, but you've seen a match or two. You said, but
Yeah.
with him, he was really presented to be this big unstoppable force.
Bulgarian brute.
But see, in the Vince McMahon era, when there's an unstoppable force, there's eventually someone who destroys that, and that's his name was Super Cena at the time.
Yep.
Now I'm
I watched that
remembering.
match.
Now I'm remembering how Cena got the U.S. title. I think he got it from Rusev because
He did at
Rusev did.
WrestleMania. I watched that's
Yes,
the one match I watched of Rusev.
Rusev
So
had the U.S. That was the U.S. title. That's the one title he had on the main roster. That's how Cena got it, and that's where the open challenges started happening. But yeah, he was a beast for sure. Like that's how they used to do these guys. Like if they came in as a heel, like you had Ryback, you also had like that. They would
feed me
always
more.
put him up as an unstoppable force until eventually, they lose to the main star, and then they start going down the line, and that's what kind of happened with Rusev. And he didn't mainly speak. He had Lana with him, or CJ Perry, as that's her real name, because she's not really Russian, but
Who signed a
um,
legend
I
contract, by
heard
the
her.
way.
Yeah, yes, I heard that, and that would be insane if they bring her back. People don't like her in some regards, but they probably won't because
No, I don't think they'll do that. I
her
think
and
people
Rusev are
misunderstand what a legends contract
no,
is.
but
That's
her
just
and she'll probably be in like a game or something because the
yeah.
Legends contract allows for a game, but it'll be random. But her and Rusev are divorced in real life, so like there would be no reason for her to be his manager again and he's definitely has a new gimmick. He's himself, but he's not the Bulgarian brute or whatever he was called before. He's definitely a new gimmick, but he's here to destroy people. But I like that he's talking more. But like when he first came through, like he was just this unstoppable force, and then
Uh,
eventually later down the
you're
line,
wrong,
Rusev
by the
Day.
way. Sorry.
What do you mean?
They're back together, but
Really? Okay, I haven't
yeah.
been paying attention to that. Hmm. Well, that's happy for them, I guess. I mean, if she comes back as a manager, she'll probably just be herself, but I don't think she's going to put on the accent again, but she could still technically, in a way, be his manager. This could be a whole new gimmick because we've seen people return and have different gimmicks. Aleister Black is like himself, but he's obviously bringing in that House of Black kind of gimmick thing. Also, I want to say one thing I noticed about him. I believe before he like was released, there was like an angle where he was injured, kayfabe injured, and like I think it happened with. It was during the Seth Rollins Messiah gimmick. Buddy Murphy, who's currently Brady Matthews, was a disciple of Seth.
Yep.
And there was this angle that went on with Seth that like an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, and there was an iconic match between. Well, it was a terrible match. It wasn't iconic, but there was a match between him and Rey Mysterio where he
Iconic can
like,
be bad.
yeah, yeah, but like a part where like he drives Rey Mysterio's face into the ring steps and there's blood, and they do the same thing to Aleister Black. And I think after that he was off TV for a minute, and then he was released. So people were trying to say that are hoping that his eyeball is like that because of that shit that happened, which I think would be really cool. But I think that's just a new look for him, and also how he used to look in AEW, with
Yeah,
like
that's how
half
he
of his
looks in
face is like
AEW.
that. I think it's just that, but that is a cool kind of like long term storytelling. However, he would need to be included with Seth Rollins' shit, like a feud for that to be real canon. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think they were going that far. But I mean, that's a
No,
cool like it's a nice little detail to remember. But
I think it's just
let's not
something to
get
look
ahead.
for.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Yeah, it's just a yeah, yeah. Y'all
Yeah.
calm down a little bit. That's cool, but like no. Um, but what were we? We were yeah, Rusev. But
Yeah.
we'll see what he does. I'm excited for that. You're
Yeah,
gonna
I
be see, you're gonna be
love
witnessing. Yeah,
like his vignette like has made him really close to being like one of my favorite wrestlers ever. Like just that one vignette, I loved that vignette. Like he's like, I'm going to redeem people. I'm going to redeem the people who waste their talents, who are awesome in the ring but waste their talents, who don't use their body, because that's what I did. I didn't use my talents well, so I'm going to make sure that these people use their talents well through pain, through pain. And he's starting with Otis and Toizawa, which makes sense because to him, Rusev, it does make sense. Like, yeah, they're wasting away their talents. They're awesome in the ring, but they're wasting away their talents being these joke characters. So he's like, I'll redeem them through pain. I love it.
yeah, and that's exactly what happened to him. He was wasted so much. Like Rusev Day was an iconic thing, but he had so much potential that was being wasted, where he was slowly turning into the joke comedic character who would only wrestle a couple of times a week. And Rusev Day is what got him over. He was more of a like he got over with the crowd, and then like he had a Liv Morgan thing at the very end before he was released, where Lana cheated on him with Bobby Lashley. Fuck that storyline. That was so stupid. I'm so glad Bobby Lashley became champion after that storyline. That was horrible. Um, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. There was like a whole angle where
I've heard of it.
like no hate to like anyone who's like this, but like they try to make Liv gay, they try to make Lana gay, that they had a thing together. No hate to anyone who is gay, straight, bi, whatever. I don't hate anyone like that. I'm just saying like the angle doesn't make sense because they had these vignettes for Liv Morgan's return, setting up for her to be like this psychotic she is now, this psychotic kind of girl like coming back and just and then her first like thing is just coming out there crashing this weird wedding with Bobby Lashley and Lana and coming out there and she's like, I can't believe you did this to me. I'm not talking about you, Bobby. I'm talking about Lana. And then her and Lana had a feud from the Royal Rumble and it didn't go anywhere. And then Lana ends up getting released. It's like it didn't go anywhere. It was terrible. Where Liv is at right now is her fucking best. And fuck anyone who says she's terrible on the mic and in the ring. That's my opinion. Anyways, hi.
Yeah, I
Let's
agree.
continue Raw. That's just like my
Um,
rant. I go off the rails. You know
yeah,
what I mean? We're not even in tier
yeah,
list. We're in an hour, anyways.
yeah. But dude, I know we kind of already talked about this, but NXT women invading the stuff is so cool. Like, also, Evolution PLE is back, which I don't know much about that PLE. So if you want to explain it to me, what is it?
The Evolution PLE, is it going? So if it's been talked about, is it going to go back to like main roster, or is this going to be like NXT?
It's didn't say NXT PLE, so probably main roster.
So there was. So the thing is, there's a love hate thing about this PLE. It's not because like so it's Evolution is the women was set during the beginning of the women's revolution, started by Stephanie McMahon. Got all the women together. This is when Charlotte, Becky, Bailey, Sasha Banks, the four horsewomen were rising up in the ranks, including like the current people, Natalia. There was one pay per view. I don't know how. I can't remember how they did it. I don't know if they did it for 1 year and the men's weren't. This is the first time the men weren't on a card, and I think they only did it once. I don't know if like they're going to make it like a Saturday night's main event where it's like it's going to be like like two pay-per-views a month. That's going to be one of them. I don't necessarily how they did it because when I stopped watching wrestling for a brief moment, these women were coming up. I only stopped watching because some people left. I was getting tired of the product for a little bit, but the women's evolution happened in between that my hiatus. So I can't remember. I have to go back and look if they did it um with like two pay-per-views in 1 month or they just replaced an entire month for their own thing. It would be really nice to see like these new women these women come in and sometimes surprises can happen. I mean, some people were like maybe could be returns. You could see like, the likes of Lita probably come back for just a brief moment because I think they had stuff like that where these legends came in for a minute just because it's a part of the women's revolution.
Yeah, well, didn't
So
Nikki Bella say she was gonna have like a last run
she's
soon?
she's supposed to have a last run this year, and she
Yeah,
hasn't shown up since Royal Rumble. So I don't know what's
yeah,
gonna happen there. But it's probably trying. She's probably trying not to overlap shit with John.
yeah,
I don't know, dude. There, but like I'm sure her and John are on good terms by now. But
yeah, probably.
um, no, that'd be really exciting to see because it's been years since a women's evolution thing. So
Yeah,
this year they can go crazy with it and bring everyone from women's main roster and NXT. That'd be fucking insane.
yeah. I hope that
So
happens. That'd be
because
awesome.
they had their own. I think this is where the women's rumble debuted. It was like a 10 woman or 20 woman. I think it was 30. This is where their version of the rumble debuted, and then the year after that, they were like, we're gonna have a men and women's Royal Rumble. So this was the start of that. Because like a lot of names came in, like Michelle McCool came in, Layla, Lita, all these big names with the current stars came in. So like that was like their main event was the women's Royal Rumble.
Mm,
So
okay.
we shall see. It'd be cool if that happens.
Yeah. But Judgment Day's aura's back, bro. Fuck
JD.
yes. Let's go, man. I'm
Oh
so
my
glad. I
god.
love the Judgment Day again. I love them again. I do. I love every second they're on screen again. Oh, yes. Yes, I love this. I don't want them to break up now. I love the Judgment Day.
Yeah,
Fuck.
AJ Styles is getting a bit close there to Dominic. He almost
Oh,
he almost he
yeah,
almost punched
man.
your boy, dude. Like he almost punched your
I
guy,
want
dude.
this to be the first feud for Dom so bad, dude.
That'd be a really
That
nice feud.
Oh, it'd be so sick, bro. For Dom to be AJ Styles, that'd be awesome.
I just don't
Yes,
want
give it to me.
it to overlap with Cross's storyline because I know they're still going to do that, but they can merge storylines in together.
Yeah.
But I'd love
Uh,
it for that. And speaking of that, Nick Aldis was taking over for Adam Pierce this week. I can't remember
yeah.
exactly why. I think there was like a real life issue or something going on with Adam Pierce so that he didn't make
Mm.
it. But Nick Aldis was in charge because I was like, what the hell is he doing here? And I was like, oh, well.
And he
But
basically insulted Adam Pierce. He did. He was like, "Listen, I know you. I know how Adam likes to run his show through chaos and likes chaos here, but that doesn't work for me because I'm running it tonight. So
yeah,
no, you will not like
gonna be
just
a no for
fucking
me, dog.
throwing strays at him, dude." But
I love the
but
banter. I love the banter between the general managers.
yeah, I speaking of Karrion Cross, uh, Logan Paul, Logan Paul versus Jay Uso. All right. Listen, I don't know why that has anything to do with Karrion Kross, but I had to find a way to transit. Okay, whatever. Logan
Yeah,
Paul versus Jey Uso. First feud. What do you think of this? I kind of like it actually.
I like it, but it doesn't need to happen. But it's like
Yeah.
I thought for sure the first, like before the Braun thing and Seth, I thought the first feud again was going to be Braun and Jay. But I guess because we had that so many times, they're not going to do it. But I honestly am okay with it. People are getting tired of Logan, but they going to bounce back anyway because they've been this way before, where they get tired of him and they're like, okay, he's actually pretty good. It's like, no, no shit, we get it. He's you don't like him in real life, but he's good in the ring.
Yeah.
He's great in the ring, so it's like, I mean, it could be great. It's not going to Logan anytime soon, but I mean, they could both work together. I also
Yeah.
love in the promo that like Logan Paul's calling them idiots for saying yeet. But Logan Paul's been known for saying yeet in all of
Yeah.
his like vines and shit. So like, what do you mean, dude? He even said a long time ago that he invented it. So what? He's a hypocrite. He didn't invent it though. I think someone else did. But
Yeah. Um,
I know you want
A-Town
to.
Down Under is
Wow.
under tension.
Oh
They're having tension with each
yeah.
other again.
I
By the way,
love
this
that.
segment was on commercial, so any American viewers, you didn't get to see it, but
Yeah,
it
I missed something, and then I missed a Ludwig Kaiser promo,
Yep.
but I saw it eventually, and it's amazing. He's so underrated. He needs more
Mm-hmm.
love. There was
Mm-hmm.
something else, I think a New Day promo or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah. I don't think
And
so.
then yeah, I missed the
Chad
A Town
promo.
Down
There was a Chad promo.
Chad Gable promo, who was being yelled at by Penta for many many reasons. You want to tell us why, Krodok? You want to tell us why Penta's mad at Chad
I
Gable?
don't, because Penta thinks Chad Gable has something, is like El Grande Americano or something. Like,
Yeah,
what?
because
That's
Penta's smart.
insane.
Penta's a
No, that's
smart guy.
insane. Penta's
Penta can see
Penta's
through it.
stupid. It's
How,
not the
yeah, it's
same
stupid,
guy. It's not even
dude.
close to the same
Dude,
guy.
Penta it can see, and so can Rey Mysterio.
Oh
But you
my
are blinded,
god.
bro.
You are blinded, okay? I don't want to hear this.
I get
I
it.
don't
I
want to
got
hear it. I don't
glasses.
want to hear it. I don't want to hear
Oh,
it.
you're
No,
gonna hear it. I'm glad I got glasses. That makes me see better. Your character doesn't, but I know you got. He's got glasses. People, he wears glasses,
I do wear glasses. And they're dirty as
and you're
fuck right now. I
well.
can barely
Yeah,
see my screen.
they're blinding you to know that that man is El Grande Americano, and Penta is fed the fuck up, sir. You're
Oh
telling me
wait, let
that
me
one of
clean
your
my
favorite
glasses real quick
luchadors?
here. Let me clean my
Oh,
glasses and look at El Grande
oh,
Americano and Chad Gable next to each other.
right.
Oh yeah, not even
Me.
close to the same person.
You're
Not
telling me
even
that one of your
close.
favored luchadors is lying to you as well. He believes that's El Grande, and you don't even want to believe Penta. I don't believe
It's
it.
not El Grande.
I can't believe you, dude. Really, you would do that to Penta? I can't believe it. If Penta told you that it was him, you would still deny it.
I would, yes, because it's not
Wow,
El Grande
dude.
Americano. As long as nobody has proof, you can't say that it's him. There's no proof.
I think his moveset and his body is enough, but we'll
Oh,
just ignore
okay.
that.
So because one killer kills someone a certain way and a different killer kills
This is a
someone a
bad
certain way,
analogy, dude.
you can
This is a
automatically
bad
assume it's the same
analogy.
person.
Bro
No,
is
you
this is a
can't.
bad analogy. He's using the diving headbutt and the ankle lock, who Chad Gable is famously known for.
Yeah, just because someone
And
stabs someone in the ribs and the eye to kill them doesn't mean it's the
so
same murder as someone else who does it.
you mean to tell me that El Grande is the originator of the headbutt and the ankle lock, and Chad Gable just managed to take it? Because you seem to believe that Mr. Grande Americano has been around for how many
I'm not
years?
saying he's
Like,
the originator. Kurt Angle's the originator of the ankle lock. People can use
hmm.
other people's
Well,
moves,
yeah, because
man.
Chad Gable's supposed to be the next Kurt Angle in a way. But why
Not
is
true.
Grande Americano doing every? They're saying you suck during his theme. He's a Kurt Angle. He's literally Kurt Angle. They're
Oh, so
saying you.
now we're saying Chad Gable and Kurt Angle are the same person. Okay, like your
Okay,
logic
now
is
you know that's
flawed
not what
here.
I. Now you know that's not what I
That's
meant.
exactly what you
Now you're
just
just
said. By
rage baiting
your
me.
logic, because they both use
No,
the ankle lock, they're the same
no.
person. And because they
I'm
both get
saying he's
chanted
the
at "You suck,"
next Kurt
they're the same
Angle.
person. It's the same logic as if El Grande Americano's the same person. Just because they use the same move and they get
That's not
chanted
what I
at "You
meant.
suck" doesn't mean
Obviously,
they're the
Chad
same
Gable.
person.
Tell the crowd that they think he's the next Kurt Angle. I didn't say he is Kurt Angle. I said he's the next one. What do you
Well,
mean?
but you said El Grande Americano is Chad Gable, and
He
because
is,
it's because they use
because
the
I'm
same
right.
moves. You can say the same for
No,
Kurt
it's
Angle.
him.
Him and
It's
Chad
him,
use the
dude.
same moves, so are they the same person? Your
It's
logic is
him,
flawed. It
dude.
makes no sense. It's
It's
stupid.
him, man. Him and El Grande aren't never in the same room together, which is insane.
They have been in the
Literally.
same room together,
That
you
was one.
dumbass.
That was a decoy. That was a decoy. That was not the real one.
Oh
I don't want to
my
hear it.
god. The decoy is the
Ever
one getting
since
carried
then,
away by
dude.
security?
Ever
You think Chad
ever
Gable
since
hired
then,
security to take
yes,
someone away?
yes, it's Chad
Oh
Gable.
my
Ever
god.
since then, dude. Ever since then, they haven't showed up in the same room together. So what does that tell you?
Tells me
Same
they're not the
person.
same person because El Grande was taken away by security and Chad Gable was clearly standing
And then
there.
he
They're
came
not the same
back.
person.
And then
Yeah,
he
they
came
came
back.
back, but who cares? Because they're separate people. Chad Gable's just a fan of El Grande. Chad Gable
So
looks up to
security.
El Grande
Hold on.
Americano.
So security takes El Grande Americano away, but apparently El Grande Americano has a contract with WWE and is wrestling. What does that make sense? How does that make sense?
Uh,
You're delusional, dude.
it makes
You're
perfect sense. He has
delusional.
a
You're
contract with
going
WWE.
insane.
Drew
You are
McIntyre has
asleep.
been taken away by security, yet he has a contract with WWE.
You're
I don't want to hear
dreaming.
any of
You're
your
in a
dumbass logic
fantasy
here.
world. You're in
You're
a
in a fantasy
fantasy
world. You
fucking
can't prove
world.
any of my points
I
wrong.
I can, dude. We know it's Chad. Everybody knows it's Chad. His face looks like Chad. His body's like Chad. His singlets like Chad. Everything about him is like Chad. And all of a
Oh
sudden,
my god.
he's yeah.
You're giving me a headache. You're awful.
Well,
Fuck you.
fuck your story. Anyways. So wait, let's continue Raw. Okay, so what happened else on Raw?
uh
We didn't have Cena this week. He was not there.
no, but
Um,
New Day was on commentary and that was funny as fuck. They were funny the entire time. That was
bring
the
back the
best they've
New
done
Day
in their heel
podcast.
run.
Bring back the new. They were dude. They have them anytime on commentary, just like watching. They've always been funny, even as babyface. Bring back the damn New Day podcast. I need that shit. Like that was. Oh my gosh,
They
they're
had a
amazing.
podcast?
I mean, yeah, they had a podcast, but I don't think it was officially on Spotify. I don't remember where it was, but I believe they used to have a
Is
podcast
that
with
the
Big
thing
E.
where Big E said big meaty man slapping meat?
He might have. I thought Booker originated that, but I think that was Big E that originated that.
No, Big E originated that for
Yeah.
sure.
Um
Big meaty man slapping meat.
yeah, them on commentary, and it was Judgment Day. Yeah, Judgment Day and the War
And the War
Raiders.
Raiders,
War
yeah.
Raiders, of course, got the upper
Which,
hand.
by the way, I was not paying attention to that match. I was just listening to New Day the whole time because they were
I
not
wasn't
even
paying.
talking about the
It
match. They were
wasn't.
just.
Yeah, they weren't talking about the match, and literally, yeah, he called Ivar fat. It was funny. Um, but like, yeah, wasn't paying attention. I was paying attention to them mostly, and of course, Judgment Day got squashed again because Penn Balor. He's the one that's taking them
Yeah.
down. I get it, their aura's back, but Finn Balor needs to go and be a face, and
Yeah. Kick
he's
out Pin Balor.
slowly getting there. He's gonna be face
Send him to
again.
TNA.
No, we don't need him to go anywhere right now.
Better than being in WWE and doing jack shit.
Well, you can't always
Give
send
him a
somebody
run over
somewhere.
in TNA. I'm sure
You
he'd get
can't
pushed
listen.
somewhere
You
else.
can't always expect someone who's being buried in WWE to do better somewhere else. Ricochet. So,
Well,
well, I get it. He's winning with Samantha. I get it, but everything else, anyways,
stupid aha gimmick.
uh, I don't know what else happened that night. I think we really much covered. Well,
No, we did
besides
not.
Io and Julie and Stephanie, like you mentioned that, I think, right?
Well, no. Stephanie and Ivy had a match, and Rhea and Roxanne had a match. Also, having commercial during Roxanne Perez's entrance, disrespectful as fuck. I'm sorry. Why? They also did it for Seth too. They had Seth's entrance during commercial. Disrespectful. Okay. Roxanne
No
Perez is one of
commercials.
the best women out right now, man.
Commercials during entrances at all are stupid. Like I don't get why. If anything, like I get it. They don't need like they have to find an ad break somewhere, but it's like, how about you give us a segment and then or like something and then give us a commercial, and whatever's happening during that time, like nobody's coming out, they're just chilling, they're waiting. I don't get I get the like they're promised 3 hours and then when that's over, that's over. It's like if you're between a commercial, just like stop shit from happening. Don't do what Vince McMahon did, where he paused a match in between ads because he used to do that shit. But like, just don't do anything, or better yet, have the whole hour ad free the whole time. Just do something. Like, it's just stupid because like, don't have them come out. How about this? I'd say if you want to have a commercial during an entrance, cut to commercial, have them come out, then have them already in the ring because sometimes they used to do that shit. That was fine. Don't start the entrance and then cut to commercial. That's what I don't like. Like,
Yeah.
have them out there in the ring. That's what they used to do. And then bring out the next guy. Don't just cut to commercial as soon as burn it down. We'll be right back. It's like, I want to at least hear them sing, you know?
Yeah.
It's just that kind of shit's annoying. And sometimes it's like too many commercials. It's like, I get it, you have to have one after a certain minute, but so many? And then, like, and the worst part is they didn't know how to cut them up this week. Because after the ads happened, and then it came back and Michael Cole was talking, and then it showed Ludwig Kaiser for a second, and then it faded to black as if it was going to a commercial, but then the show came back on. So they didn't even know how to cut up an ad this time. It was like so annoying. I got to see
Yeah.
him for a split second and didn't know why he was on screen.
Yeah,
And he just
you
cut a promo.
messaged me and you're like, "Did Ludwig just cut a promo?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah,
You
it
didn't
showed
see
the
it."
very last minute of him in his glasses, and then it cut away, and it came back to Michael Cole like welcoming us back. I'm like, what are we doing here? What the fuck? I was like, I'm tired. I'm tired of this shit. I want to go see
Yeah,
clips after it's over. I'm like, oh, this is what Ludwig Kaiser said.
true. But the last thing that happened on Raw is, well, that we want to talk about is Pat McAfee is confirmed to fight Gunther at
Uh,
Backlash. And I I know Pat McAfee can wrestle. I know he can. I just I don't like it. I don't know why. I'm just against this for some reason. I'm just like,
well, yeah, it's because
eh.
Gunther just came out of the title picture. Now he's fighting a non-star WWE star. Pat's the commentator team, but he's not. It's just a random fucking feud to give.
Okay,
Like
I
I,
think I understand why I hate this.
okay.
Because I feel like it would be fine if it was just on like the SmackDown or Raw before Backlash. I feel like it would do the same thing or after Backlash.
That's what they could have
Because
done.
at the
Literally
end
the
of the
next
day, it's
this
gonna be a squash match. You know, Gunther's gonna fucking kill Pat McAfee to write him off for football season. That's what's gonna happen,
that's
obviously.
probably what this entire shit is. There's a reason to get Pat to get off TV, and they're probably going to bring back Corey Graves.
Yeah.
However, in news outside of the WWE, Corey Graves and Carmella are expecting a second child. Now, I'm not saying that's going to cause him to be off TV, but um, the only way I see it is like that's how Corey
Didn't they
Graves comes
just
back.
have a kid?
I think so, yeah. But I mean, let's be honest here. Like, well, you probably have no opinion, but like, if you look at her and look at him, they're they probably couldn't help it and popped out another one. Which also means that she's gonna be off TV even longer. So at this point, I think she's
Yeah.
fully released. I think she's a free agent, but I think
Well,
she's fully
she's
released at
been
this point.
released for a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember. I never got the official like release thing. That's probably why I haven't thought it was official. But yeah, well, it's hard to tell because when they leave WWE in their name, it's like I think she finally took it out, but some people still leave WWE in their name, and I'm like, you're gone. You remember
I hope they
Elias?
don't release Corey.
Elias still has WWE in his name. I'm like, dude, you're not there anymore.
Yeah. Isn't
I'm
he
like,
in
you're not.
TNA?
Yeah, he's like in TNA now, and he pops up on the Indies. It's like y'all don't. I think Dijak finally changed his name, but like they leave their name in there, I guess, to get the traction. But
No, they probably just forget, honestly.
yeah, I think they
Like,
just forget. Yeah, sometimes people leave and they're like, yeah, WWE. I'm like, you're not there anymore. But
uh,
I guess you can go ahead and throw up NXT. I saw some things with NXT, but I didn't see everything.
yeah. Um,
This tier list starts at 2 hours. Let's go.
yep. But for NXT, say his name and he
Oh
appears.
yeah, Dark
I
State
believe
obliterated
in
this
Joe
man.
Andre.
Dark State obliterated this man,
Yes, they did. Holy shit.
which
And
is
we have a
definitely going to
match
write
set
him
up.
off NXT for a while. Oh wait, what?
Well, no. We have a match set up. Hank and Tank, the tag team champs, and Joe Hendry are fighting Dark State on the next episode of NXT. So,
Yeah, but there's four members, so Is it leaving the
It's
fourth
just gonna
member
be a
out?
3-on-3.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to that because they're giving Joe Hendry more screen time and seemingly a random match against Dark State, which really has me thinking that Joe Hendry's kind of permanently here, but that's neither here
I'm
nor
not gonna
there.
lie, that could have been a battleground match if they found a fourth dude for those guys. You could have a battleground match of Dark State versus Joe Hendry versus Hanky Tank and some other
That'd be
dude.
cool. Maybe
That would
that'll
be
happen
insane.
still.
That's
But
possibly gonna happen. Like battleground is the perfect PLE for that.
yeah.
Um, I already know there's like
But
one
no, it's
match
gonna be Joe
confirmed for
versus
battle.
Trick. It's gonna be Joe versus Trick.
Possibly. I know there's already like one. Isn't there one match confirmed for battleground where it's Roxanne, right?
I don't
And
think there is a
Seth.
match confirmed.
Okay. I thought
I
there
don't
were
think we
two.
have
Well,
one
I think they're
confirmed.
gonna determine who faces
Yeah, no,
Stephanie
they're
or
determining
something.
everything next week. They're gonna have a lot of matches announced next week, but
Yeah.
because there's gonna be I know Julia and I believe, oh fuck, who's the other person? I think it's Julia and Jordan Grace are having a match to decide the number one contender. So that's who will face Stephanie at
I keep
Battleground.
forgetting their battleground match is a normal televised event. It's on a Tuesday, isn't it? It's not like a
I think
PLE for them.
so.
Yeah, they're the only real time they have a
Well, no, no,
PLE.
no, 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 no. It's a PLE. It's a PLE. It's after Saturday night's main event on the 25th.
Oh yeah, yep, that has been announced. And
Yeah.
have you seen the poster?
No, I'm not.
It's a good poster. I won't say anything. I don't think it spoils anything, but it looks cool.
Okay.
Unless you want me to tell you, want me to tell you, or you just want to be
Just,
surprised.
just tell me.
It's John Cena.
Okay.
Um, which kind of spoils probably what I mean. I don't think it matters because to us it's not
It
canon
does.
because a lot of shit
Yeah.
happens on there that doesn't matter. But it's like people were starting to call it a Spider-Man 3 kind of cover s because it's John Cena,
Oh, I
and
see it.
then
I just looked it up. Yeah.
well, yeah, he says yeah. But to people who haven't seen it, it's John Cena, pretty much him standing in his gear. He's smiling, which is strange, but like one side of his face, the right side, no, the left side, your left, okay, but like the right side of the poster, it's grayed out, and the other side is like in color, in vibrant colors. So cool. I mean, I don't know what that means, but like I guess they're just giving an excuse to put him on a lot of posters this year because I know he's going to be on a lot of them.
Yeah.
So I mean, they could have like thrown. Well, Jay was on it last year, so like there was no reason to put him on there again. But I guess because you can't figure out who you're going to put on the posters, so he's on there. But that means he's going to
Yeah.
be probably one of the. He'll probably have a title match that's just going to be a retain
Yeah, probably.
something that. Yeah, but it won't matter because we don't canonize it because nothing really
Sure.
happens on there.
Yep.
There isn't really a title change. There isn't really anything. It's just
It's
another.
fan service.
It pretty much is.
Yeah. Nostalgia trip. Anyway, I and this NXT episode was the NXT of breakups, by the way, because Meta 4 breaks up, which makes sense. They weren't really doing anything together, so whatever.
So like all
Anyway,
forum, Dart,
yeah,
what's the other
Oro.
guy's name? Or Mensa, Lash, and Jakara? They broke up.
Well, Lash and Jakar are probably still a tag team, but the other two, all of them like broke up as a group.
I
Yeah,
expected that with Noam Dar because he just came back, won the Heritage
yeah,
Cup, and I didn't think he was going to jump back into Metaphor after that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
They're
they
they're
definitely.
broken up, so they're probably all gonna get new themes. So we'll see.
God, here comes Deferable.
Dude, the metaphor theme goes hard. I hope
It
they
does.
don't
Probably
get
Jakara and Lash will keep it.
maybe, yeah.
Aura and Noam Dar was probably just gonna. Did they like what attack each other, or they were just like, "Hey, we're gonna end it"?
No, they just had a nice little conversation, like we're all gonna do our own thing now, kind of
Oh,
thing.
okay,
So
that's good. That's sometimes a faction breaking up like that is fine for me instead
yeah,
of just attacking each other.
yeah, that's fine for me too. But then another breakup that happened was Carmen Petrovich kicked Ashanti the Adonis right in the fucking face. And I'm assuming they're broken up or they're at least fighting now. Please get rid of this awful, god awful romance storyline. I've hated it the entire time. Thank God this is hopefully over soon.
I've
Please.
seen it. Yeah, I think it was kind of a weird one. It was like forced or something, and nobody cared.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I don't give a damn about. Yeah, that's probably why I'm like confused because I don't know. I knew Ashanti was still in the WWE, but I didn't know what he was doing. But I kind of remember that where he would
He
get
was
in the
hitting
middle
on
of some.
girls.
Yeah, come Go throw him to AEW. Put him with Swerve or something, because like, yeah,
Yeah,
the whole former Hit Row members like BFAB is still doing okay with the Street Profits, but I don't even know if she's their manager anymore since she's not showing up with them. I don't know if she's injured, but just like I mean, Flop Dollar, he's gone already, but you still got Ashanti and BFAB. Like what's crazy is the person that like was released first is doing so much better in AEW. Like he was the first
yeah,
person released. Well, he was the one that didn't come back with Hit Row, because I think he had signed with AEW beforehand. So the fact that he's doing better, it's like wow. But
true. But
figure shit out with
yeah,
Ashanti, make him a better star, because that man should not be. Yeah,
yeah, he hasn't even had a match in like a year or two,
no, yeah,
actually.
it seems like he's only just a yeah.
But other than that, Roxanne and Julia, we have confirmation they're like a team now, kinda. They're aligned. They're aligned at
I
least.
like it though. I do like it.
I do too. Yeah, I think it's cool. Julia being a heel makes sense because we already have Stephanie, Jordan, and like a bunch of other faces for the women, so it makes sense to add another heel to that. Um,
I think
but
it's a
then
switch up because I'm pretty sure Julia used to be like a face on the Indies, and Stephanie was kind of that heel because she's the devil kind of like character.
yeah,
She has a finisher called the Devil's Kiss. Ah ah ah.
ah
Um,
ah ah ah
which
ah
I this is
ah
which my
ah.
favorite thing
Oh
about.
yeah, man.
I'm gonna kill him. My
Yeah,
favorite thing about this is it's been a minute since like having NXT talent on the main roster, getting what is it? What's it called? Matching the vibe. They knew about Stephanie, Julia, and Roxanne. They've known about Roxanne by now, but Julia. The last time I've seen them like hit it off with like NXT main roster call ups or like even showing up is like Dragunov, because like before main roster people just for some reason were blind to who people in NXT was. So if
true.
they came up, there was no reaction.
Well,
Now
social
you
media
could say
wasn't as big, right?
yeah,
So
you could say Black and Gold era, they were popping off because like when even like Enzo Amore and Big Cass debuted, they were screaming their heads off. Sami Zayn came in, they were screaming their heads off. Kevin Owens, but then like near like the brief NXT 2.0 time and all that, these big star names were coming up, and nobody gave a reaction. Nobody knew who these NXT guys was. And now with Stephanie coming out there, and they know exactly what to do. Like like the crowd interaction is better now with NXT stars
yeah,
than it has ever been.
a lot pretty man.
I'm I'm waiting for a potential like because it's been a minute for like an NXT male star besides Braun. Now he's main roster, but for someone to come in from like the male star randomly and see if they interact with like a champion. Because Fraxium pretty much did that because they debuted like two different SmackDowns before they left NXT. So like they are already the start of that. But I like it now that the crowd knows about these dudes,
Yeah.
and we're pretty much telling you watch NXT. It's worth it, dude.
I mean, they're having main roster stars have matches on NXT recently too.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, EO.
the world champ on NXT having a match. So
I love it, dude. But
yeah.
yeah, we gotta
Um,
get into this tier list. Any more
no, it's not
NXT?
over yet. Listen,
We
I just
got
have a
to.
few more things. I have a few more things. Listen, listen.
It's late for us, by the way. We're gonna be probably falling asleep on this tier list. So get ready.
Okay, yeah, but listen, listen, listen. Okay, I just want to acknowledge LFG is taking over NXT. Okay, they have uh, I mean, fucking Cutler James is part of freaking Dark State, and I mean everybody already knew that Carla James is part of Dark State before he even left the show of LFG because, well, I don't want to spoil too much, but he's gone
Yeah,
in the
because
most recent episode.
I'm
But
actually going to be binging, like probably not binging, but I'm going to be like watching a lot on my off
yeah,
days this week. I want to get into that show, um, and be able to talk about it.
yeah,
Definitely.
and then there's also like tons of other like just LFG people that are in like NXT. There's like three of them that were like standing behind Obafemi, and the Undertaker showed up and he was like, "Listen, these guys, they're coming after you." And it was just really
Oh
cool. I
yeah, I
loved that.
saw that he like threatened his
Yeah,
championship. Like these dudes are coming to get that. And I was like,
yeah.
damn.
And I love like all the people on LFG, so I hope they all do come over to NXT. But also, there was one that they didn't show in that like Undertaker segment that is in the like. So they announced a 25-man like what's it called?
Battle Royal.
Yes, thank you. For like to decide who's the number one contender to the NXT championship. Joe Hendry's gonna no wait, Trick's gonna be in it, I think. I don't know I don't think Joe Hendry will be in it, but anyway. There's like two members of LG that are like on the like screenshot showing all the people in it.
They're
So
moving up in the world, ain't they?
yeah.
Let's go, dude. Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. And then one last thing from NXT I want to talk about is Chase U is back. It's been reborn. And
Bum,
Andre
bum, ba, dum, ba,
Chase says,
bum.
fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. That's what he said. He literally said, fuck you. Fuck you. He just
Did he
fucking said,
really?
yeah, bro. You need to watch the segment. It's so funny. So funny. But yeah,
Fuck you.
that's
All
the last
right,
thing
I
I want to
definitely will.
acknowledge. Yeah.
We'll chase you.
Chase U.
Fuck you. All right. Well, that's our wrestling recap of the week
Yeah.
from last SmackDown to NXT. There's a lot going on, and definitely next week will have more. And next week's episode will be the predictions episode for Backlash 2025, where we can hopefully finally have a fucking title holder. Because
Yes,
my
please.
God, I kind of in a way blame myself. If I chose Tiffany, I probably would have won. But
I
I
blame
try to go with
myself.
my
If I
gut.
chose
If
New
you
Day, I
chose
would
War,
have
yeah,
won.
New Day, yeah, it's one of those two because I just try to go with my gut here. I'm thinking like maybe Triple H is like she needs the belt, but it's like they this time listened to the fans and were like, yeah, Tiffany needs to keep it. But anyways, without further ado, we're gonna get into the tier list. If you're a
Also,
visual.
we will have timestamps on the YouTube, so you can skip to the tier list if you want.
And now that he said that, I have to do work and now make
Yep.
timestamps. So thank you, Krodok.
You're
You're
welcome.
off the channel. All right, so Beer Bros are done. Um, so yeah, if you're a viewer, this is definitely recommended, or if you're an audio listener, this is definitely recommended to watch on YouTube. So we're pulling up the tier list now. So we're doing movies. So just like the last concept of I have to screen them now if you're not looking at it already, Kodak. But
Um,
um, we have 39 in total because well we were going to do 15, but this guy said honorable mentions. So I don't know how we managed to get 9 more after that, but we did. I don't. These numbers don't add up because I thought I had 15 and he. I don't know. There's 9 more some here. But I rearranged some of them too while we were talking because some of these were like back to back, and I'm like, okay. But
yeah.
so yeah, pretty much the same thing. We have S tier, A tier, B tier, C, D, F, and then our honorable mentions tab. Um, there is no haven't watched tab because well, one of us has watched one of these movies,
Yeah.
so we're pretty much gonna do it the same way. Decide like we'll like in a way we'll still decide if if one of us hasn't seen it, we'll let that person decide
Mhm.
where one goes. But if we've seen both or have watched at least some part of the series, we'll decide together where one of them is going to go. But
Yeah.
that's pretty much how that's going to go. So this first one, this one is called A Silent Voice, and I believe it
Oh
looks like
yeah.
it's animated. I don't know much
It
about
is.
it, but this is your
Yes.
pick.
Um. So full disclosure, I watched this movie like 3 days ago. For the first time ever. It's
It's already in
now
his top three.
yeah. It's my fourth favorite movie of all time.
Okay.
This movie was probably no, not even probably. It's the most relatable movie I've ever seen to my personal experiences and hardships throughout life
Wow.
because this movie is about a bully and it's about a bullied person who is deaf and it
Oh.
basically explores how bullying can affect your life, like the bully's life and the bullied person's life and it shows both of these in a very very fucking emotional way and as someone who has bullied people and has been bullied, I've been on both ends. So this movie really like emotionally hit me in a certain place and connected with me a very specific way. Like
Right.
it just shows how even if you are the bully, it can still affect you so much as well, because it's a very if to anyone who I feel like I genuinely think every single person should watch this in their life. Like this is a movie that I feel like everybody should watch, no matter if you've been bullied or you've been a bully or if you haven't. I feel like everybody should watch this movie just to help raise somewhat of an awareness
Hopefully, you're
on
not a
stuff
bully
like
watching
this.
this because we don't like you. But because you
Come
said if
on,
you
man.
have been a bully, well, I mean, hopefully you've changed your ways. But if you're currently a bully, you need to watch this movie and probably change your ways
Yes,
because
yes. If
bullying
you
is
are, please watch this
we
movie.
do not
Yes.
bully here.
Yes, I used to, and that's
One
why
of
I love this movie so much. Is because it displays how the bully wants to become better, and displays how even if you are a bully, it can affect your life in such a negative way. At the end of the day, like at the end of the day, it's gonna come back to you. All of it's gonna come back to you. It's gonna make your life way worse as well. Like it's not just gonna hurt the people you bully; it's gonna hurt you too in the long run. And
right,
this shows us in such an incredible way, like just the visual representation of bullying and like how it can affect. Like the movie starts out like showing him bullying the deaf girl, right, in elementary, and then
right.
but like also right before that it starts out with him basically wanting to kill himself. And
Wow.
it's just it's a very heavy movie, so if you're not like
Where
if you're
did
not in
you
the right headspace, don't watch it. But
where did you watch it?
I watched it. I couldn't find anywhere to watch it legally, so for legal reasons, I watched it somewhere. But you know,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
for
but
reasons we do not fully understand.
exactly. Also, I didn't mean to say, I mean unaliving yourself. He tried to unalive himself.
Yeah,
And
I mean in this context, it's okay to speak about because it's a story.
yeah,
So like,
yes, but
yeah,
it's very, very emotional. Everybody should watch it to understand the true effect bullying can have on the person who bullies and also the person being bullied, because it truly just shows it in such
yeah.
an incredible way. Like oh my God, it's so emotional. I was crying for hours after watching this. I can't, man. This shit. Oh, please,
Well,
please,
it's
everybody who's listening, watch it. Trust me.
well now it makes me curious as where you would put this because I remember the last time you said you cried during something was Spiritfarer, and you didn't really know where to put that in your
But that was
category. But I would hope
different
that
because it was a game. I don't know if
I
that makes
I
sense.
guess yeah, in a way,
This would be
yeah. I
S tier
mean,
for me. I genuinely think everybody should see this movie, no matter who you are, no matter how old
I
you
mean,
are.
I'll take it since I haven't seen it, but like I definitely would in a way find it. Is it dubbed or like English, Japan?
There's
Like
probably a dub version. I watched the sub one,
so,
but
so it's like in Japan. Is it Japanese or I'm probably
Japanese.
getting it wrong. Japanese. Okay, it's pretty good. So
Yeah,
why?
it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
So while you were speaking, sorry, I was rearranging stuff because most of this shit was yours, and you were going to be talking forever. I'm not saying we don't want you to talk, but
No, fair enough.
but I was rearranging things because I was like, damn, he's got so many things, and I'm like, I'm trying to make it like every other one is ours or one of
Yeah, yeah.
ours.
Fair
Uh,
enough.
just like make it every other single one. I'm still doing it, but
Okay, well then I'll continue ranting. Fuck it, I'll keep
you
going.
can continue ranting. Go ahead. I'm
But
almost
yeah,
done.
no. So like it just because one of the most beautiful things about this film, spoiler warning, I do recommend you watch it. So, just like I don't know, skip ahead like 30 seconds. But one of the most beautiful things of this movie is the person who's the bully, right? Like for the entire movie, for almost everyone, you'll see X's over their face because he doesn't want to look anybody in the face or in the eyes because it's too hard to do that. And that's
Oh wow.
such a good like emotional representation of how it genuinely feels when you have anxiety or something that bad. Like you
Right.
can't see their face, you can't look at their face. It's like there is X's over them, because I remember from my time in that time in my life, I don't remember anybody's faces. I can't even remember their names because of like just I didn't want
How
to look
painful
at
it
their
was.
faces.
Yeah. How
Yeah,
painful it was and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I
So
feel that 100% with you. Real.
it's such a good visual representation of bullying. So yeah, just
Yeah. Definitely
watch that.
recommend that movie then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh so we have that next year. The next one, so this one's going to be like a together one because
Mhm.
I specifically chose Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. He has chosen the prequel trilogy as a whole.
Yes.
There's many reasons as to why specifically the Revenge of the Sith is probably one of my favorites. Now, Return of the Jedi is also one of mine. Um, and even to like Phantom, like Attack of the Clones, we know how people feel about that a little way. Phantom Menace even kind of gets a recommendation uh, of a way because it is a great start to the story. Um, it's a great start. It's not that 100% the greatest movie of all time, but this out
Yeah.
of that trilogy, this is my favorite. Now, as a kid growing up, this is obviously you in a way realizing the good guys aren't winning this one. This is
Mhm.
their empire because Empire, the bad guys win. Revenge of the Sith, they win, but because they win, they have to go into the the trilogy, or in this case, they have to go into Kenobi or Rebels. Vader can't be defeated right now. He has to be defeated later, or so it's like
Mhm.
it's such an emotional ending. Like we're
Oh,
going to talk spoilers, so like skip maybe a minute, but like by now, I would assume everyone has seen this.
yeah.
But the ending is pretty much Padme dying. Your Vader is standing by, Palpatine's side. The Empire has won. They're building the Death Star, and then there's hope at the end because you're getting Luke is getting sent to Tatooine, Leia's getting sent to Alderaan. But um, the perspective of this movie changed. If you watch this movie as a whole, if you watch the OG trilogy and the prequels up to this point, it's a feeling of sadness. The
Mhm.
entire mood changes if you go and watch the Clone Wars, then you come back to this shit.
Yep.
If you watch Clone Wars all the way through to season 7 and you come back to this, it's a whole fucking perspective. I didn't cry the first time watching this film. After Clone Wars, I cried because I knew the impending doom that was on Anakin, that was on his family, that was on everyone literally almost fucking dies in this movie. Everyone dies, and it's like not just metaphorically and physically. Like most of the Jedi, all of the Jedi mainly almost die. Anakin metaphorically dies and mentally. Padme dies. So many bad shit happens. It's like it's the end game or it's the Infinity War of its day. Like everyone
Mm.
is losing. Like if you can't think about it, everyone is losing something. The everyone's falling for it. The Emperor's plans are coming together, but the ending scene is what made me cry because watching Clone Wars, every single moment I wanted Anakin to snap out of it. I wanted Anakin to be saved. I wanted him. I had hope for him that he was going to not change, but because Revenge of the Sith and the OGs already exist, there's no helping him. And it hurts because you want to help that guy. So after watching Clone Wars, I went back to Revenge of the Sith, had a whole different perspective, and even thinking about, even though they're not shown on screen, Ahsoka's out there dealing with that shit. You have other
Mhm.
characters who are not shown on screen in Revenge of the Sith going through a lot of shit. Hearing the
Rex.
words, yeah, Rex, and like everyone, hearing the words from this is from Clone Wars, hearing the words Count Dooku is dead is such a bone chilling line to hear, even though we knew this shit happened because this happened before Clone Wars was a thing. Hearing that happen and it happening off screen, I'm like, we're fucked. It's going right into it. Like, so watching this movie automatically for me, because I know you have the trilogy here, but automatically
Yeah,
for me, it's S.
I
Just for the
agree.
fact alone, would you put that in front of
For nostalgia, yes, I would.
just because like people have its ifs and ups and downs. People can say the memes saved this movie. That's not the case at all.
No, it's a
The
great movie.
most memed anyway is part two. I killed the women and the children, or the sand is coarse and rough. But like this one was meme too. Like, oh, you underestimate my power. But like, and
And the high
no,
ground.
and high ground. There's so many memes, but
This is
like
where the
don't.
fun begins.
But in a way, I believe because out of Rough Point season 7 or this Clone Wars was canceled, season 7 managed to bring that shit back, and it tied everything in to Revenge of the Sith. And watching season 7 and then watching Revenge of the Sith right afterwards changes your whole perspective. Made me cry. It's S. But
Yeah.
now you have prequel trilogy in there. So now I want to see your ranking. For
Okay.
me, I'll do mine after yours because I you have all three.
Yeah. I just put all three here because for me, I know a lot of people are like, why not the OG trilogy? Well, to be honest, it's literally just a fun thing. I enjoy watching the prequels more. They were more of my childhood. They were because 2000s. That like I wasn't born in 1970 when the OG trilogy came out. So like this is the nostalgia kind of thing, and I love watching these movies. It's like when I watch Star Wars, I'm always like, I'm gonna watch the prequel trilogy because I know I'm gonna have a fun, good time. I'm gonna just enjoy myself. Like I just love having a
I
fun, good time.
I make myself sound old every time on this podcast, and this is another example. Make a compilation of old beard moments. I my one of my uncles had one of the original VHSs of
Oh
the OG
boy.
trilogy, like the one before they added in all the prequel shit, where like Anakin's the Force Ghost, or before they added in Palpatine's or Ian McDiarmid's face, because the original Emperor and Empire wasn't Ian McDiarmid. It was some. I believe it was. I think someone said it looked like a woman, but I think it was a woman, and it had monkey eyeballs on the Emperor's eyes for effect, and it was a guy talking over it. The Emperor's design in Empire was completely different than what it was in Return of the Jedi. Ian McDiarmid didn't become the Emperor until the third movie, because that's when the Emperor fully showed up. So what they did later on in the remakes after Revenge of the Sith, they
I've
put
also watched the original ones.
yeah,
I just want to say
they
that.
put the current yeah, we've all pretty much, I guess in a way, yeah. They put the current emperor, they recorded a whole thing and threw it into the old movie and replaced the other emperor, and they did the same thing with Anakin's Force Ghost at the end of Return. So they changed that up. Those were the remakes or the re-edits or whatever. But I've seen the original like shit because there was
So have
some stuff
I.
that they've cut out of the originals.
Yeah.
So I've seen that. So I'm old as hell, like seeing this on VHS. But like the OGs are obviously they're probably more nostalgia than the prequels. But growing up in the era of the prequels, that is yeah, that would be my choice too because that's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
And the budgeting was different on the prequels than they were the OGs. Like the budgeting was small because George Lucas was starting out. So there was more things that they got to explore, and it's also prequels. I'm a sucker for prequels and to know this is how Vader became Vader.
Oh yeah.
So like, yeah, it was
Also,
amazing.
effects and prequels are way better than the OG, and the lightsaber fights are phenomenally better. Like,
That's
just it's
because
not even
well,
close.
yes, that's what I'm saying. Everything became phenomenally better because George had the better effects team. He actually hired duelists and martial artists to fight. That's why some people do shit on some of the things in the sequel is because I'm not going to hate on everything Disney does. I do have a dislike to them sometimes, but they didn't take that opportunity to hire martial artists to fight. That's why Ray didn't have that. That's why Daisy Ridley or Adam Driver they didn't have the training and combatant skills that literally um, Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor. Yes, that's right. McGregor. Yes.
Hmm.
Over here thinking of Conor McGregor. McGregor. Ewan McGregor, they had actual like training and fighting. They also had stunt doubles in a way, but
Yeah.
most of them did. Palpatine didn't fly through the air on his Aaron McDermott didn't fly through the air on his own.
And the
Um
sequels has the worst fight scene of anything I've ever seen. So,
yeah, and I don't think Christopher
for
Lee, rest in peace, actually had those martial artist skills because he was older. But regardless, they had training. So those fighting scenes look better. They didn't do any of that in the Disney ones. So it's like that's why they look like that. They're not trying to be they were in a way lazy, but they just didn't have the combat training.
yeah.
So I don't even think they
Also,
had that much training in the originals, and they at least had better finesse to them.
yeah. Also, I watched the OG trilogy first because my family was like, okay, you haven't seen Star Wars, so we're gonna show you Star Wars. I think this was when I mean, probably pretty young, right? But I watched the
Okay.
OG trilogy, and then they showed me the prequels, and I watched the OG trilogy, and I was like, yeah, this is okay. I think it's cool. And then after watching the Phantom Menace, and specifically seeing Darth Maul versus Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, I was in love ever since. That's when I fell in love with Star Wars because Darth Maul's my favorite character in all of Star Wars. He's my favorite. I love Darth Maul. Darth Maul's fucking incredible. But that
He
one scene with the Duel of the Fates like soundtrack in the background and just the incredible lightsaber fight that it was, that's what made me truly fall in love with Star Wars. So that's why I have to have like the trilogy as a whole because I don't hate Attack on Clones like everyone else. Honestly, I think I do think the memes are part of what makes me like it so much. But dude, I don't know. I think it's
the
fun.
memes
It's
save
fun.
it. There's like there is a lot because there's a lot of things that like set up for Revenge of the Sith, and then you technically in a way have to go back and watch Attack the Clones to in a way understand Clone Wars because that's the whole
Yeah,
fucking point of the show.
true.
Um, but like to watch that because well there are segments between Clone Wars that are before Attack of the Clones, I believe, right? Because Django
Yeah.
does die in Attack of the Clones, but
Hmm.
he does show up in Clone Wars at some point. There's time jumps. There's weird. I can't remember. Yeah, they're set like in between.
Yeah.
Am I wrong here?
I
Django
think
shows up in Clone Wars, right?
I don't think he does. No.
Well, yeah, he shows up because his son Boba's there.
Mm.
I, I thought there
His
was.
son's
Oh
Boba's
wait, no,
there,
it
but I don't think
happens.
he
It
is.
happens. It happens in Clone Attack of the Clones. Django. Okay, Django shows up in Attack of the Clones, then he dies, and then his son Boba, and then we see more of Boba in the Clone Wars. I'm getting it
Hmm.
wrong, so
Yeah.
because Billy D Williams, and then there's the voice, and then I don't remember his actor name for, but anyways, but yeah, so. That's the whole point. Watch Attack of the Clones before Clone Wars, and you'll understand some shit. There's also shit that
True.
Count Dooku alludes to about, oh, your government is under the control of a Sith Lord, and they're like, ah, you're dumb, no, and then that leads to Revenge of the Sith, and that's like, oh, well, you're stupid for not believing that. You should have believed it.
Yeah.
But I recommend like you don't have to watch everything in chronological order, but if you want the lore, you want everything. If you want to go in blind for Revenge of the Sith, do it. But I recommend there's some filler shit in Clone Wars, but watch Clone Wars
Yeah.
before you watch Revenge of the Sith. You'll get a whole different perspective.
True.
But where would you put this trilogy, given through all
Um,
three films? Because I know where I kind of would, and I will
Give me your
say,
thoughts because I thinking maybe A honestly, but
okay, so Phantom Menace is a great start. It is a perfect start. I'm not going to lie, as Attack would bring it down. I don't care about it had to be dubbed. It had to be dubbed over because the audio issues. That's why some of the lines sound cheesy and unenthusiastic. That's what happened. I don't know if you know that, but that's like
I did
the
not know
audio.
that.
Yeah,
No.
audio issues was fucked up, and that's why it sounds weird. That's why like it looks like sometimes in the scenes that they're like their lip, like the syncing of their lips and the audio is kind of off. It's because audio issues happened between, and they had to redub everything. I think they didn't have the budget to reshoot everything, so they kind of dubbed it in a way. It just you can hear there's some audio cues where it sounds like something they're saying sounds way too close when they're far away. But that's not the audio cue shit. Shit like that happens.
Yeah.
But the Battle of the Jedis at the end, that shit was insane.
Oh yeah.
Amazing. It is definitely important to the plot. For me, it's in between B and A, given that like, Attack of the Clones has that kind of thing. Just like Revenge of the Sith is my S. Probably
Mm-hmm.
that would put it in A for me too. Since
Yeah,
Revenge
I'm
of the
thinking
Sith is
A.
my S.
Yeah,
I'm thinking A. I'm thinking Arby's. No.
because I do think Revenge of
Um,
the Sith is just like better than you know. Yeah.
it's like what it always makes you think like it's the best like of the trilogy, and people say that for Return. We all know the best of the OGs was Empire. I don't even want to hear it. Empire. Well, you probably have a different thing, but Empire is my favorite out of the OG.
I haven't watched
Some
the OG
people,
trilogy since like holy shit, it's been so long. I don't even
since you were a
really
little,
remember
little
that
child,
that much. Yeah.
since you were little Krodok.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
Empire is because like I don't know why, but like I'm always up for when the villain wins. I don't know why. I may be a little bit demented in the head for like enjoying villains over heroes, but like I
Nah, I
I
get it. I
create
do
shit.
too.
I create shit where I create like villains. Like the recent thing that if you checked on my channel, that's a villain like character, dude. I write lore for shit, and it's mainly a villain because heroes are so last year. Anyways,
True. I get it. Me too.
um, yeah, but A tier for Star Wars: The Prequel
Uh,
Trilogy. So yeah, I this isn't the trilogy. This is just
Oh,
the Dark Knight. So,
okay.
um, yeah, I was gonna do the trilogy, but Dark Knight, out of all three of them, is the main one that I saw the most. Like,
All right.
I just saw it so many times. I think I watched Rises a couple of times, but it's just like for so many years, I kid you not, and I can have people will probably say to me, this isn't necessarily the greatest film anymore. And I can't agree. It's been my number one for so much. And I don't know why. I don't know if I have some sort of emotional attachment to this movie. Ledger's performance,
Mhm.
there's pain that he's no longer with us because he could have done so much more in the future. He literally would have been a bigger star than he already was after this movie. But there's just like so much nostalgia, so much love for this film, regardless of how people feel about the Nolan verse of these films, that there are some things that he kind of got wrong and some things that he kind of did his own way. This one just felt perfect in any of its way. I don't remember
Mm.
complaining as much in this film. Like to this day, I praise it. Batman Begins, I have a little bit of an if with, and Dark Knight Rises as well. That's just because the direction had to change because they had plans for some things and Joker as well, but in the unfortunate passing of Heath Ledger, they had to change some things. That's not his fault. Things like he is a method actor, but he did get, very, very far into that. But
Yeah.
with this one, isn't
All I
it?
know about Dark Knight is the Bane memes. But you
Yes.
merely adopted the dog.
what
I was born in it.
what will break first? Your spirit or your body?
I love
uh
it. I love it. Ugh.
oh, my audio is gonna suck for that one. But it's just like this one was just the center. And as much as this entire trilogy was grounded, trying to make realism and change a little bit things up, like obviously the Joker is the Joker, but he's not, the vat of acid and, chemical induced Joker, as you see in the Arkham games or even Jack Nicholson's Joker. This is more of a gangster mob boss Joker. He's always a gangster and mob boss, but this one is more of a ruthless killer. He actually has a plan, even though there's that, scene where I don't like I really have a plan. Like, no, you do. Don't deny it. Uh, just with the fact that, like, yeah, for me, it's just a great film. Like, perfect to me, to be honest, all the way through. I enjoy every single moment of it. I meme some of the quotes and stuff. The iconic "You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain." That's
Yes, brother.
literally John Cena right now. But
True.
for me though, over the years, I would have put it at S tier, but it is an A for me just
Oh,
because it's not in here. But I believe that the Batman 2022 beats this one in ways of
all right.
how they had the format.
I
Um,
am justice.
have you seen the Dark Knight trilogy?
Mm-mm.
Okay, it's going in A, so I don't have to even argue. But it's not better than the prequel trilogy, and I will say that for a fact because the emotional attachment
Okay.
I had in the prequel trilogy. There's a scale here to like say to compare or contrast space combat film with and then Dark Knight, who's a
Yeah.
vigilante superhero. So it's like, it's not going to be better than something that's emotionally attached more than the Dark Knight. It's great for its nostalgia. It's great for its lines, its seriousness, its storytelling. Amazing. Weird takes, different takes on characters, but
Yeah.
could have been better. But A is probably where it stands because it is better than Begins and Rises. So
True.
that is my
True.
placement for
Yeah. I mean, I've never seen it, so I
that.
can't really say much. But I will say, I did like the Batman. I like that movie, so maybe I'll watch the Dark Knight trilogy one day, but who
It's
knows?
a different perspective. They do in a way they don't character assassinate, but they do character change. I don't know. They do some weird things to certain characters. He tried to keep it normal and grounded as
Mm,
much as he could.
okay.
Yeah, like Ra's al Ghul is supposed to be supernatural, but anyways.
Yeah, wait. So is Ra's al Ghul in those movies and he's not?
So okay, so Ra's al Ghul is in Batman Begins. He's the first villain. He's played by Liam Neeson. Uh,
Okay.
so he's played by Liam Neeson. So the concept we all know, Ra's al Ghul, is he's a he's a demon. He's a
Yeah.
ancient demon. Lazarus pit keeps him alive. This and that. He's training the next person to be the next him to
As a
continue.
beautiful daughter.
Has a beautiful. All right. Has a beautiful daughter. Random fact. Has a beautiful daughter. Has a kid with Batman. No. But like his entire purpose is like he's been living for so many years. His body's becoming decrepit, and they even picked this up in the Arkham games. Like, well, with this, it's the same storyline. In comics and most media, he has been known to be there to train uh Bruce, and who eventually becomes Batman. In some media, he isn't really involved that much. He's more of a villain than anything. But in the Batman Begins film, I won't give too much spoilers, but he is the trainer. He is pretty much the reason that Batman becomes Batman. But
Mm.
in this one, Ra's al Ghul, his motivation in the comics and all the media, he is over 1,000 years old. They get the dates wrong all the time. Sometimes it's like 500, 800. But he's been living for so long. He's tired of using the Lazarus pit. It drains his energy. He's getting tired of it. He can't use it so much. He wants to pass on the blood of the demon and his power on to other people. And Batman is like a good asset for that because he's a crime fighter. And hopefully thinking that Batman will become the one to end Gotham because Gotham is so corrupt. Um, that's what pretty much the League of Assassins kind of like goal is, to like stop the corrupt, or like, pretty much. But
Hmm.
that's how he wants to gain his legacy, passing the blood of the demon. In the movie Batman Begins, he's not really supernatural.
Oh,
He just finds people who like look foreign or like Asian descent. Like literally, you'll find out in the movie. There's like two different dudes who are Asian that try to look like Ra's al Ghul. However, in this film, he goes by Ra's al Ghul because Christopher Nolan doesn't know how to pronounce names right.
yeah,
Ra's
I
al
don't think I'm
Ghul.
gonna watch these movies.
You don't have to, because I do have a nitpick with that. Dark Knight is a good one. That's why I say it's in my A. The other two would be C. I'm not even kidding you. I'm not even kidding you.
Damn.
Bane is not even what Bane in the third one. He's a terrorist, and he's more so not that Mexican. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Not that Spanish. I cannot assume a man's ethnicity. I don't think he's Spanish, but I don't think he's Mexican. I think he's like Cuban. I'm butchering this right now. Please
Just
don't kill me.
just
Please don't
say
kill me.
Latino. Just say
He's
Latino.
not Latino either. He's not. It's not the same. Listen. Okay.
That Latino is anything that's Spanish. That's the term, brother.
Anyways, please don't kill me for getting this wrong, anyone. But anyway,
Latino means
he's Latino. He's
Portuguese,
foreign. He's Spanish.
Brazilian. It
But
means all that.
either way, he's less of that because that's what he's pretty much supposed to be. But he's
Yeah.
more of a terrorist. He has a mask on. He doesn't have the venom hooked up to him. It's all grounded in a way, but Dark Knight manages to find that way to blend the grounding into it. So that's why it doesn't make that film so badly. But Batman Begins and Rises just kind of do. But that's
Mm.
besides the point. That's how race is supposed to be. And if they do race one day in these Batman films, please, the Gotham TV show did it better, and that show got
I yeah.
canceled. But
I like the thing I love about Batman is he can fight supernatural things without being supernatural himself and still win. That's what I love about it. You
yeah,
know?
oh yeah. But now, God, we are on to one of your favorites. It seems, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Part
All
One.
right. This is one of my honorable mentions, but should I still rank it or just put it in honorable mentions and talk
If
about it?
it's an honorable mentions, we'll put it in there, and you can just talk about it. I guess
Okay,
since we
let's do
have
that.
that, yeah, honorable mentions.
All
I just
right.
rearrange things, but
Yeah. So Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, right? Listen, I know a lot of people probably like, what the fuck is this? You know, there's probably a lot of people that haven't seen this movie, okay? Listen, this movie is so good. It's so funny. It's a fun movie. I'm not gonna say it's like one of the best movies ever. No, but it's so fun to just sit down and have a good watch and laugh with. Flint Lockwood, you know? So
Kids love food. If your kid loves food, dude, watch this film.
true, true.
I think I don't remember what introduced me to it, but I remember watching this in school. I
Oh,
I
really?
didn't watch this. I think it was like near the end of the year. We were done with everything. It was about to be the end. It was the end of the school, and we watched this film for like 2 days because like we had to split it up because like the
Yeah.
days don't last long when you're in elementary. That's when this came out for me. Holy shit.
What?
Um, yeah, this came out.
I don't think that's right. This came out in like 2010.
You're wrong. Hold on, because
I
we
came
are
out.
looking
If I
up
was a chance meatballs came out in like 2012, bro.
09.
What? What?
You were a year
My life
old.
is a lie.
09. So yeah, I was still in elementary. I didn't go into middle school till about 2012. And that's for a fact. And that's
Yeah.
things I won't discuss here. Why? Anyways, yeah, 09. So like I think I was at least
You
09.
definitely weren't in elementary.
No, I
Yeah,
was.
no.
No, I was.
What?
I was
Oh
in elementary.
no.
I didn't go
Oh
into middle
no.
school till 2012, and I didn't get out of
Oh boy.
elementary till 2011. So I was at least
Oh.
in third grade. Yeah, I was in third grade. Wow, dude,
Oh
your
wow,
life is
dude.
a lie.
That's
Going
crazy,
to
man.
fucking F tier. No. The fuck? But
Ugh.
it's yeah, this it's a good movie. I don't know why we watched it, but I think it was almost time for school to end, like summer end, like, and we were just
Yeah.
doing stuff, and this was like a film, and like we watched, it, and I was like, oh, that's funny. It was funny. I loved it.
Yeah, it's a funny
It was a
movie. It
great
has
movie.
like it's also emotionally like really cool too because it's kind of about a father and son relationship and it's also a love story and also Steve. So, it's just like so it's a really good movie, people watch it. It's just fun. It's nice and wholesome. Show it to your kids or whatever. I don't know if anyone
I
watching this
really
has
wanted
kids.
to jump into
Whatever.
a giant Jello thing like they did. I was like, that's not fair. I want to,
Dude, yeah,
even though
bro,
I
that
feel
shit
like you
was
would
awesome.
suffocate and die. But I mean,
Yeah, no, definitely.
yeah. I mean, if we were to rank it, I'd put it in. Shit, I'd put it in A, but we'll keep it an honorable mention since that was not part of
I
his
put it in
15.
like
It was
B or
part of
C,
his
but
20, but no, okay.
yeah, I had 24 on
Yeah, you
this
had
list, people.
24. Oh my god.
I couldn't make up my 15, okay?
But the next
Ugh,
one, so I'll put these together. We have
okay.
another one where we have a trilogy and a specific. I picked Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yes,
Um
you did.
from the time of like watching, first of all, the trilogy is amazing. The trilogy is amazing. He
Mhm.
told me before that like out of Marvel projects, this is one of the best from coming off of like people not knowing much about the
It's my
Guardians
favorite one.
and the fact that they were introduced so early before the Infinity Saga and then they are now a fan favorite is amazing to me. But 3 is specific because for the first time in so many years I've cried in a Marvel film. I don't even remember if a Marvel film made me cry. I think I got emotional when, spoilers, Tony passed in Endgame. I believe I did get a bit emotional when you see, spoilers. You should know by now we're doing spoilers in any of these.
Yeah.
Peter trembling in Tony's arms in Infinity War. It's like these are emotional moments. It's like you get that, that feeling you get in your eyes when it's like feels like it's cloudy. It feels like I feel like that right now because it's late. Uh,
Oh, yeah.
when it's like it's kind of like foggy here, but you're not getting any tears. You feel like you're gonna have some. That's that kind of
Mhm.
moment I had with like Endgame. Even though I heard like so many girls crying in Endgame, I was like, y'all really okay, but
Yeah, dude, my mother was crying. I heard
but
this woman behind me like fucking bawling her eyes out. I was like, calm down, okay?
regardless if it's CGI or not, an animal being tortured.
Oh, bro. Bro.
That's a weakness for me. I'm a big softy. People know me. You can ask him. You can ask my
Yeah.
girlfriend. I am a softy, dude. So like when it comes to like a big, if you see big men around who act tough, I'm one of those. We have a soft heart. Okay, I don't care what any of you big men watching this like. Oh fuck you, man. I don't know what you're talking about, beard. No, you might be a softy. Listen, an animal being tortured, CGI or not, all his losing his friends like that, the fact that it's centered around him also is amazing because like he is
Mhm.
the center of the team as much as everyone else, but this specifically being focused on him, where he came from, how he became who he is. Even so, the villain, like, it made you fucking hate that guy. Regardless of
Oh
like
fuck.
people kind of
Yeah.
see the High Revolutionary as not as a big bad villain, he's still an asshole. He's still
Yeah.
I hate you kind of vibe villain. Like, I do not want you to, and him just standing over his dead buddies like that, and potential could have been, I think, one the female one was like, I think, into him, or they were kind of like, close like that, but like they were all friends and they were all
Yeah.
suffering, and like, it's, in a way, it's like they're free from their suffering, but he didn't want them to die. And
Mm.
that shit is the most like saddening thing. And then not only that, we got fucking Adam Warlock. Amazing. I
Yeah.
forgot the
Oh my
actor's
god.
name, but my god, that's an amazing depiction of him. Obviously, he's meant to be funny because he's technically got the mind of a child. So regardless of him
Yeah.
being, adult looking, he's a baby. Amazing. Don't
True.
don't be rash. you know, uh, it's awesome. I love the film emotionally and funny still. I think one of the first uncensored f bombs, and
It's the only one.
I think it's the only one. Yeah, get open the fucking door. Yeah,
It's so good.
the dynamic between like Nebula and then finding um they do find I'm trying to remember, they do find Gamora again, right?
Huh?
Did they find her?
Sign two.
Gamora.
Oh, yeah. Why?
Okay, I was trying to remember. Like, it's been a minute. I'm trying to remember what or when and how she showed up. Um,
Sorry, I spaced out.
no, it's fine. I'm getting there. Um, but yeah, it was just a great film for me. It's gonna either clash with your ranking or not, but it's like, it's up there in S.
It's S
It's
tier. It's
S.
S tier.
Yeah,
Easy S tier. It's probably the top for me just because I Guardians. I want to say Guardians is the first series where I watched like every single movie as it came out.
it's
That's the
hard.
only
It's
trilogy I've
hard
done that for.
because they both made me cry. However,
Guardians made me cry.
the
It's Revenge of the Sith didn't.
connection with Star Wars that I have, and also like that Clone Wars impact made it differently, I'd still put Star Wars in front of this.
Damn,
It's
that's
not it's
crazy.
not because one made me cry harder than the other, but it's just like that feeling of like, this was an emotional movie, but they he managed to get the upper hand, obviously, and they defeated him. And Rocket's now a better person. He sees the world a little bit differently now through all of this. Like, obviously, he's going to be the same old wisecracking Rocket. That's his character, but he's obviously more appreciative of his friends than ever. He knows that they love him, and I love that dynamic. The dynamic of them like at the end, like, I loved it. It's amazing,
Yeah,
but just
I.
that shit with Revenge of the Sith's ending, it's just like, it's still up there for me. Something's
Not
gonna.
to mention
Sorry,
Bradley Cooper's fucking voice acting in the third movie is so
I always
incredible. What a
forget. I always
performance!
forget it's him. It's like, that's the thing. Is like, we all know it's Vin Diesel with Groot, but everyone forgets that Bradley Cooper is Rocket. Sometimes it's like, because of the voice he does. I can't see his
Yeah,
face doing that. I don't know with
but just
Groot.
him crying and like the amount of emotion he has
Yeah,
during Guardians 3 is so good, dude. Like when he's dude, it's such a good acting performance. One of the best
it's
I've ever
it's
seen.
amazing for real. So we'll talk about your trilogy now, since you have all three.
Yeah. Listen, I have all three. I know some people hate two. I kind of do too.
I
I'm
like
not
to.
gonna lie. I, I mean, two's okay, but
What? I put that tumor in your mom's head. Oh, great thing to tell your son, dude. You're fucked.
yeah. Anyway, no, the reason I really put this on here is because one and three are so good to me. I listen, I love Guardians as a series, but if I'm choosing a Guardians of the Galaxy movie to just watch at any random time, I'm picking the first one. And I know a lot of people would say three because it's like it is better than the first movie, I think. But to me, the first Guardians movie is so like, sorry, did Guardians 1 come out after Age of Ultron?
Yeah, it was right around that. Yeah,
Was it the first one after Age of Ultron? I'm trying to remember.
yeah. The second one was after, I believe, Ragnarok.
Okay.
Yeah, because they had just got done with Volume 2, and then I think the post credits. of Volume 2, Thor lands on the Thor lands on or hits the ship.
Okay, that's all I needed to know.
Because within that
All right.
timeline things were overlapping because like Thanos had come through, so yeah, it was all like overlapping in a way.
Yeah, okay. That's all I need to know because for me, Guardians 1 was because I listen, people, I'm pretty young, okay? So the first MCU movie I saw in theaters was Age of Ultron, and that if that's the case, then Guardians 1 would have been the second one I think I saw in theaters. So, but actually, wait. Was it? No. No, it came out before Age of Ultron. Shit, never
I
mind.
think
I guess I haven't seen
Guardians
them all in
No, I
theaters.
think Guardians
Damn it.
1 actually did pop up after. No, it popped up after I think the second Thor.
Damn it. Never mind. My whole point is flawed and now.
I mean,
But whatever.
you might be right because if I look up Guardians, it's 2014. Because Thanos shows up on it before Thanos shows up in because Thanos shows up in a post credit scenes after Avengers 1
What was that
before
fake Guardians 4 trailer? I'm sorry. I got distracted.
so the thing is I see it. Yeah, you can see it. I'm pretty sure everyone can see it.
Yeah.
Hello, look at that, y'all. Um so Guardians 1 2014, Avengers 1 is 2012. So I think it's after Iron Man 3 and Thor 2.
Yeah. So never mind. My whole
So
point's
like
invalid.
it happened before Age of Ultron because we see
Yeah.
Thanos in Guardians with Ronan. Guardians
Yeah.
1 happens
Yeah.
and then I think we start leading
Yeah.
into Avengers 2 and then
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So
yeah.
never mind then.
Cuz there was like
But
because remember Doctor Strange even happened. So there was a brief
uh,
moment that these new guys were showing up that weren't the main guys and everybody was like am I gonna like this? It's not the same people, and they eventually started liking it. Like they liked Doctor Strange, they liked the Guardians. So like there was a moment
yeah.
after Iron Man 3 and Avengers 2 where you started getting these new people, and people were like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not, because it was like during Civil War era time too as well, and they were like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But they eventually
But
liked it. But
yeah. But anyway, so never mind what I was saying there. But Guardians 1 is such a fun movie to me. It's genuinely like just my favorite like MCU movie to just watch without having to watch everything else because I feel like for other ones you kind of have to or whatever. But I love Guardians because it can stand alone and be still so good. Like it's just that good. And Guardians 1 is so fun to me. I love this is a trope that I just love in anything. Seeing like a team get formed, like kind of with for random reasons, all having like a similar like kind of goal and getting formed and just like eventually becoming friends. I don't know. I just love that trope.
no, I
I
love
do.
it.
I love a trope of people coming together like that.
They all have
So
great backstories too. I mean, literally, daughter of
yeah,
Thanos, like literally. And that whole trope of like Nebula trying to kill her for 2 movies was even great. Like
yeah,
her character arc especially has been great.
true.
Um,
Yeah,
so what would
Nebula.
you
Yeah.
rank the trilogy?
I personally, I would have it like above 3, but I don't know, man. I That's just me, I guess. But
I mean,
I
to
don't know.
be
I love
honest,
the
is it
entire
so you
trilogy.
would have it in an S for all of them?
Yeah, I love
It
this
would go in
trilogy.
front of 3, given like it's the same. It's in there with it, but like it
Yeah,
kind of like 1, 2, 3, 3. Yeah, it kind of works. Yeah, that's
yeah.
where I
I
would
just
put
love
it.
the first and third movie so much.
All right. Yeah. Do you want to talk about this
Yeah.
first, or do you want to go into mine?
Go into yours
I try
first.
to okay. So yeah, this is a bit of a change up. The Halloween trilogy. Now this is not the
Ooh.
Halloween series we all know from the 1978 one. The old Halloween 2, the Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, which doesn't even include Michael Myers. The Halloween trilogy 2018, which had been revamped by Blumhouse. Um,
People made Five Nights at Freddy's.
well, they've made many. They they have made more than just Five Nights at Freddy's. Uh,
Well, that's all I know them for.
oh, he's so young, isn't he? Y'all? Yeah, they've made so many good films over the years. I can't name a few. I can't name any at all as the moment because I'm blanking and I want to look like an idiot. But I feel like I've shown you some Blumhouse movies, but they've made great movies. Um, I wanted to switch it up a bit because there's movies that I know watching out for some reason. That's probably how crazy I'm in today. I liked horror movies growing up, but for some reason, out of all of them, Michael Myers was the center of my attention. Now, as a kid, you're probably thinking, why the fuck did your parents let you do this? They didn't. I snuck it. Anyways, I I snuck my way into watching these movies. Not saying I snuck into theaters. I'm saying I watched these on TV. It doesn't matter. Household had an atmosphere to it. Just this guy alone had such a mysterious. He still does to this day. Has a mysterious thing about him, regardless of how they changed him up in the future films, where he was a fucking satanic ritual kind of being. I hated those movies. But what the Halloween trilogy of 2018 did is they took the first film from 1978. They took every film after it, including Halloween 2, and they retconned it. So they took 2018 as the first Halloween. It's 40 years after the first one. So this whole time, Michael Myers has been incarcerated since the night of the killings in the first film. I also enjoyed his theme song. That's why I like this character that much. I can play it so fucking well without any sheet music on a piano. That's my first piano piece that I learned, by the way. Probably people in my family thought I was fucking psycho, that I'm over here trying to learn this shit, and I'm in love with the Michael Myers character. But I'm fine, I'm doing well. Uh, I enjoyed the character, and I enjoyed this trilogy. Halloween 1, 2018, and Halloween Kills, which is the second one, they did great. However, Halloween Ends, which is the last one in the trilogy that came out, I believe 2023, fucked things completely out of proportion. Because this is the thing about this. I love getting movies that I've had a nitpick with in one of the films, just because it makes it authentic to say I love the series, but I also have this hatred, in a way. So, like,
Hmm.
first film, amazing, brings him back, everything. They brought the original composer and the creator of Halloween to work on these with Blumhouse, John Carpenter, legend. They had
Oh,
they had a new guy for Michael, but they also had the original like Michael Myers actors on set at some points to be stuntmen because they've done it before. But they had Jamie Lee Curtis came back, who is the original Scream Queen. Everybody knows she's the original victim in the first film who survived. So she's back in this one. It's her daughter or her daughter and her granddaughter, and he's coming back and he's broken out of the prison bus and he's wrecking havoc again on Halloween, which is ironic that it happens on every fucking Halloween. It's literally it happens on Halloween. It's like the man knows, but he's wrecking havoc, all that shit. The second film picks up the night after, which is badass because he's somewhat burning alive in her house that she has rigged for a trap for him. A badass shot of him. This is the second film. A badass shot of him walking out of the flames and shit with an axe in his hand, and he kills 7 firefighters. Like they made him so badass through both films, and then the third film they introduce a new character. They time jump 4 years. Now during the time they were filming this, the pandemic was happening, so they had to fucking improvise so much. However, the third film completely was butchered because they added a new guy in. He was supposed to become the successor to Michael Myers. Michael, I kid you fucking not, by checking the runtime, Michael Myers does not show up till an hour and 14 minutes into the fucking third film.
what the fuck?
So the movie Halloween Ends is not even about Michael. It's about this other guy who accidentally kills this kid he's babysitting because because this kid is like messing with him. He locks him up in the attic and the kid's like, "Ha ha, you're locked in there." And he's locked in and he shoves the door open and the kid is pushed over the balcony and falls down and breaks his neck and is bleeding from the head. And his parents, this is like a sitcom shit. Comedically, the parents walk in as this happens and sees their son fall splat to their death. And they're like, "What the fuck did you do?" And they're like yelling up at him. And during this, which is crazy. This is a great shot though in the movie. If you ever look up Michael Myers, there's an iconic image of him looking over a balcony or like a balcony inside of a home, like that's to a stairway, and he's got a knife in his hand and he's looking over the balcony. They recreate that shot with this guy because while he was playing with this kid, he was pretending to be a slasher, so he was running around with a knife, but he wasn't going to kill the kid. But he was standing up there looking over the balcony with the knife, mirroring the same shot. And I was like, that's actually fucking badass. But as the film continued, it got worse. It was really weird. They made this guy nerdy, stupid. People bullied him for it. The granddaughter to Jamie Lee Curtis's character completely character assassinated. I'm not going to spoil everything, but like completely character assassinated from the first two films. Her mother, it's so weird. It doesn't make sense. I feel like they didn't give a shit at this point anymore, but because of that film alone, it's a C. Like, I love these films and I love how they worked in, but like with that last film, it fucked. I could even put it into a D if I wanted to, but
Damn.
they tried something at least in the third film at first. They were, but it just didn't make sense. Like
Yeah.
her name is Lori. Character. Jamie Lee Curtis's character name is Lori. She had spent so many years waiting for him to come back that she was training herself in gun combat, martial arts, even like she's this old woman. She was training for shit. She set up her house to be a trap for him. That's why it catches on fire in the first film. Like so much shit preparing for it. And in the third film, she's living her life like normal. Michael's still alive, but she's just living her life like normal. She's not as cautious as she is. Everyone's pretty much a character assassinated. And then you introduce this random new character in the third film who has no connection to any of the main characters or Michael. And the weird thing is, him and Michael tag team. He's killing someone. He throws someone at Michael. Michael stabs the guy. It's weird. It doesn't feel like a Halloween film. It feels like a fucking drama. It's just that film alone brings it
Mm.
down. And the trilogy ends. The trilogy's over because they do have an ending, which is a lackluster ending to me. But because of it, it goes to C because of how bad the third one was, and it just completely character assassinated everyone. I know you have no takes because I feel like you've never seen any of these movies because you're not much of a big horror guy.
No, I hate horror.
But like this is a tame, grounded kind of horror. Like this is the more jump scary kind of horror because like he can be around any corner. Also, in the third one, they were really relying too much on the jump scare sounds. Like every time they turn around the corner, it'd be a random person and would be like, "Dun!" And it's just like, what do you? Why are we doing that? it, it just they didn't know what to do in the last film. They could have just kept the format. They could have like made them look younger and say, "Hey, this takes place after the second movie, like a day after." They just character assassinate everybody. So, I mean, I
Mm.
really hope the series is over because the way it ended, it made it clear that it's over.
Mm.
I really hope Blumhouse doesn't do this with FNAF 3 when there is one and they fuck it up too. I don't know what it is about a trilogy or a Halloween and its trilogies, but it's ha-
Well, they can't fuck up FNAF. Okay, the
they
first one's
could,
already no,
but
no, they can't. The first one's a bad movie. They can't make it any worse.
that's why the FNAF movie is not in this tier list. Um,
Hey,
yeah,
anyone who's listening and is trying to defend the FNAF movie because they just called it bad, you're wrong. It's a fun movie. It's not a good movie. There's a
it is
huge
a fun movie,
difference.
but it's the thing about Halloween, and it always has a bad trilogy because the satire of it is. So Halloween 1 and 2, the originals in the 70s, there was Halloween 1 where like he shot 6 times and he escapes. The second movie follows the same night where Lori goes to the hospital and he chases her up to the hospital. Well, he dies in a fireball and that's where the story pretty much ends. John Carpenter, the original creator of Halloween, had a different vision for a third movie that didn't involve Michael Myers. Michael Myers' story was over. It was called Season of the Witch. The story followed that there was this evil company, not like, evil, haha, like there was this company that
Disney.
was
Don't come after us, Disney. It was a joke.
Uh,
It was a joke. It was a joke.
don't claim this video. Um, we there was this company that was putting these like weird things into these Halloween masks, and it was killing children and killing adults wearing them. I can't remember what they were, but like it was killing them, and they were putting them into these masks, and it was called like Season of the Witch for some reason. I can't remember why. I don't know. I think the original mask was a witch mask or something, but that's just what it was. It didn't involve Michael Myers at all. Um, and they were like, and then the people came and offered John Carpenter money, sell us the series, and he was like, sure. And then they butchered Michael Myers after that. So, and then years later, I'm sure you know who Rob Zombie is. You have to know,
Yes.
yeah. Rob Zombie, who famously, makes music, but also is a horror fanatic. He recreated the Halloween series. He made part one. Um, it's not great, but it is a good remake. Because I know how I feel about remakes, like Friday the 13th remake. I was like, but great first remake. The second one, what the fuck happened? I thought I was on an acid trip, and then it never got a trilogy. So like Halloween is like known for having either a laughable third part of the movie that sucks or no trilogy at all. But enough rambling of that. C tier is the best part for this because
All right.
the ending of Halloween Ends and the whole entire movie sucked ass.
Damn.
We have so much to
Oh
go
yeah.
through. We're gonna get to 4 hours. Let's fucking go. What's the next one?
Yeah. So this is an honorable mention as well, so let's put it there. But
One.
this okay. This is like this is probably the most obscure
So is
movie
the
on
next
this
one, I
list.
think. Okay, what's
Yeah,
this movie
yeah.
called again?
But it's called Escape from Planet Earth.
Yeah.
It's probably the most like obscure movie on this list. I doubt anyone has really heard of this movie that much, but let me tell you, people, let me tell you, if you want to
Let me
watch
talk to
a
you.
bad movie and have a good time, this is the movie to watch, okay? Is this a good movie? I'm be honest, I can barely remember this movie, so I don't even really have that much of an opinion, but I'm pretty positive it's not. I'm pretty positive this movie's pretty ass, but it's super fun and funny to watch. It's probably really dated though. It's like
I
such
think it is, yeah.
2010s humor. It's like you have to be in the moment to enjoy it, you know? You have to be there, kind of thing.
You have to
But
be there.
holy shit, is it funny to me? I don't know why. I just think I find this movie hilarious. It was a product of its time. I watched it so much when I was growing up, right? Because this came out when I was growing up, and it was just a fun, funny movie to watch. Probably really cringe now. I need to rewatch it, but trust me, if you want to watch a bad cringe movie that's outdated as fuck, watch this, and I promise you'll have a great time.
All right.
It's also the same as Guardians of the Galaxy, and where it's in space and it's like a team of misfits kind of coming together. So
Yeah, I went ahead and put your honorable mentions at the very end so we can get through our real ones.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've seen it. I've seen alien based like animated films. Uh
Yeah.
Aliens in the Attic is one I can remember.
That's not an
That
anime
one,
film, but
well, I mean, it's
yeah.
not
I
animated, but
love
like,
that
it's
movie.
semi
I
because
do
like
love
you,
that movie. I watched that movie
it
so many
is,
times. I have the DVD.
it's
I have the
semi
DVD. I
animated.
watched it so many
I
times.
don't know
Yeah.
what the genre is called, but I guess they call it semi animation, kind of like Sonic, where like it's real life, but it,
It's just CGI in a movie, that's all.
yeah, yeah,
You
but
wouldn't call Guardians of the Galaxy animated.
no, mm-mm. They have animated personalities, but no.
Yeah, no, it's just CGI in a regular movie, live action movie.
Next on
Just
our
CGI in a live
list,
action movie.
yeah, next on our list is also a double whammy for both of us.
Yeah.
But I'll let him go first on this one since I normally go first. But we have the
Okay.
Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy. That's what
Yes,
he
not
chose.
anything after, not 4 or 5, not Stranger Tides or Dead Men Tell No Tales. No, I don't like those movies that much. I'm sure if you do, you're a fine person, but honestly, you're wrong. Anyway,
He
the
just like,
first three movies,
all right.
the first three movies are so good. They're just perfect. You know, you got Johnny Depp and you got Will and Elizabeth Story in those three movies. and it beautifully wraps up at the
I
end.
love how you called
But
him Johnny. I
I,
love how you called him Johnny Depp, and then just you called them Will and Elizabeth. Like what?
yeah,
Captain Johnny Depp.
listen, I don't want to say Orlando Bloom and oh fuck, who plays Elizabeth?
Keira Knightley. Wow.
Keira Knightley. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My
And
bad.
then
But
the
yeah, I don't
actor
want to
Captain
say their
Barbosa.
name. Yeah, exactly. No. Anyway, Johnny Depp plays Jack Sparrow incredibly well. I'm a pirate lover. I said this during the games thing. I love pirates. I love pirates so much. Pirates are like my favorite
Oh,
shit in the
Black
world.
Flag was
So on
Esther.
any list, no matter what it's about, you're gonna see something about pirates probably from
Yeah,
me.
if we do a TV
So
show tier list, One Piece all the way,
yeah, exactly. Like pirates are everywhere for me. I love pirates. Anyway, this is just they're such fun movies. Fucking fuck, I can't speak. Jack Sparrow is incredible and just so funny. I can quote so many of his quotes from these movies and even other characters' quotes. They're so funny. I watch these movies once a year. I go through the first three movies and every year I watch the first three of the Caribbean series. I
Pirate
do.
family
I just love
tradition.
to.
Pirate family tradition, it seems.
Yeah, for real. I just love watching these movies, and it's just such a good time. I'll usually watch them all in like a day too. I'll just, I like to watch them. They're fun, dude. They're
And
fun. Nice.
you told me Black Pearl was like your favorite.
It is. Yes, I love the first one the best, just because I feel like it doesn't like need all the like Davy Jones like extra stuff like that. I don't know. I
Right.
just like the first one because it's just such like a regular like classic pirate story, you know what I mean? Where it's just a regular curse and just, pirates wanting treasure and wanting to break a curse. I think it's really nice. Whereas when you go into the second and third movie, it does lean a lot more into the supernatural side of it,
Right,
which
yeah.
I
Dead Man's
pirate stories
Ship
are
and
always known to be like supernatural, and even the first one has some supernatural stuff, but it's still more grounded to me, and I like
yeah,
it for
because
that.
Barbosa is like cursed, right? He's the
Yeah.
Black Pearl and everything. The whole like his whole crew is like, and then I'm guessing like they become saved, and that's how they become part of Jack's crew later on, right? Like
Well,
the Black
yeah.
Pearl crew is no longer cursed, right? Or are they still?
Yeah, no, they get uncursed. Most of them die. The only ones that return are Barbosa, but he does die in that movie, but he returns. Spoilers, I guess. Who cares? Anyway,
These movies are like
um,
early 2000s. These people know this by now. Like, yeah,
yeah. But yeah, so Barbosa does die at the end of the first one, but then he comes back in the third or end of second, I guess you could say technically.
yeah. I think it's in
But
a second because he is like a high profile like character in the third one. Still, there's tension
yeah,
there with him and Jack, but yeah,
but yeah, the rest
he's
of his crew die, I'm pretty sure, except for the two goofy guys
yeah, they're like the
with the
missing teeth and
eye
the missing
and
yeah,
stuff.
and the
Yeah,
monkey yeah, because everyone else
yeah.
is like Jack's crew. So yeah.
Yeah, Jack the monkey never dies, so Jack the monkey
um,
stays alive.
I guess I'll let you put where you think before I even talk about mine because it'll
Uh,
probably be up there
for
with yours.
me,
But
for me, I do love these movies. Like I from an enjoyment standpoint, I would have them at an S. But when I don't know. I think I'd have them at an S because I do watch them every year. I don't know. They're fun to watch. I don't
hmm,
know, but I'm also fine with A as well though because when I'm looking at it like from a critical perspective, I do think the movies in S are better than like the trilogy kind of, but
I have seen
I
all
don't.
three, but we'll learn here soon that I've seen one of them more than once out of all three of them. I could compromise with A since I've seen one of them more.
Yeah,
Um, would it go? I obviously it's going to go in front of Dark Knight, but would it go in front of the prequel trilogy?
it would.
It
Yeah.
would. Pirates all day, buddy.
Yeah.
I never cried in any of these films. I probably would need to watch them
Because I
again
think all
this
three of
time.
them are very strong. Like I think all three films are very strong.
I've
Whereas the
never,
prequel has like
yeah, I've
tears
never
at the
cried in
point.
any of them. It's just because I watched them as a kid. So if I watched them again, I probably would. I know there's a lot of
Mhm.
emotional
Yeah.
parts, but yeah, I definitely would put it before Star Wars just because of that. It's amazing. But
Yeah.
adding to that, I chose out of that trilogy, I chose at World's End, which is part
Hmm.
three, because that one is such an iconic one for me that I've seen so many damn times
One
that
of
I
the
can
true, one of the
barely
shit.
count. Yeah, and I watched it so many times. I mean, fascinated by it so many times. I would put it in there with A, but I've always looked at it as an S to me because of how good that third film is. But in a compromise, we could do the same thing I did with Guardians and just put it like right in there with the trilogy in A. But as a film
Uh,
alone, I do like it around S or A.
yeah, I don't know. I personally have it below the trilogy. I think it's a good movie. I think I like the trilogy as a whole more. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like
That
behind the trilogy, or you mean like in a B or like behind it?
no, just behind it.
Okay, yeah, that would definitely work like
Yeah,
behind it. So I
yeah.
agree with
Just
that.
because I think they're definitely good movies, but I think like they do have some issues, and I think they're more of just fun movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like fun to watch.
All right, so we got this next pick for you called Klaus.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Now, some people might be like, "You have a Christmas movie in your top 15?"
Hey,
And
I had a
and
Halloween
to that,
movie. I mean,
fair. Yeah, but and to that I say, damn right I have a Christmas movie because holy shit, is this one of the best? It's my favorite Christmas movie, obviously,
you
but
caught
it's also
yourself
one of the
there.
best movies I've
We're
seen,
about to
dude.
have some haters like the best Christmas movie. Are you fucking serious? No,
Yeah, I'm serious. To all you haters, listen, haters,
there
I don't
aren't
care
any.
what you
We
say.
have none
Your
yet.
opinions are wrong.
We don't have it. You're making some. What are you doing? Stop.
I,
We're
I,
doing.
I have to
No.
do something to
I just look at
listen.
my,
I'm
my
trying to I'm trying to bait comments here. Okay, it's called rage baiting.
I just look at my subscriber counts going down. Like no.
Everyone can see that.
um.
Yes, okay. Anyway, um, but Klaus is a good movie. It's about spoilers, I guess. You should go watch it. It did come out. I forget when it came out. It wasn't that long ago though. Anyway, Klaus is a good Christmas movie. It's about basically a rich kid getting sent to like this island in the middle of butt fuck nowhere. Sorry, fuck. Oh shit, I'm swearing. No, god damn it.
It's fine. It's fine. We're like 2 hours
Okay.
in.
Okay.
You two don't care.
But it's yeah, it's in the middle of like nowhere, and it's like just the most cold place ever, and the town's people are all miserable, sorry, sulking sucks that all hate each other, and it's like a horrible town of crime and violence. It's basically Gotham in winter, and this guy is the mailman, and he has to like deliver mail and stuff. And then he eventually meets Klaus, and Klaus just likes to make toys and stuff. And he meets this girl. He falls in love with this girl. And Klaus like, sorry, the main character falls in love with this girl. I forget the main character's name. My bad. I haven't seen the movie in a tiny bit, but anyway,
Chris.
then
No.
then
Chris Kringle.
Klaus fucking makes toys and everything because he's supposed to be Santa, right? Claus, you get it. Anyway,
Yes.
yeah, so he's supposed to be Santa, and he's like this very gentle giant with a tragic past, I'm pretty sure.
Damn.
Like a pretty sad past, and now all he wants to do is give joy to children by making toys and giving it to them. So the mailman then starts delivering all the toys for him and starts like with Klaus and like starts leaving them in the houses and starts making all the kids of the town happier and starts making everyone like in the town happier, and it's just it's really it's beautiful. You guys should
So it
watch it.
kind of feels like a soft origin of like the meaning of Christmas. Like it was
Yeah.
door to door deliveries, and
Yes.
it's like before Santa became like the myth kind of thing, if whatever you want to
Yeah.
look at it. Okay. Because I
Yeah,
always
it's kind of based
believed
like in the 1400s,
that's
I
how I
think.
yeah,
The
that's how
movie.
I grew up like knowing like I don't obviously the story of Santa is like different all around, but like what I've heard is like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
there was this guy, he doored like in a way, however you make up your own lore, because like in a way, like how you believe in Santa or the story of him, it's always in a way there's a different story every time because you got Miracle on 34th Street, you got all the Santa Claus movies. There's many ways
Yeah.
you can make up a story for him, and I learned of like he was once a door to door man, and then he secretly had these powers and he created his own like toy making factory, and it's like there's so many stories to it. And I like this is kind of like a soft origin of that. Like yeah, this man would
Mhm.
eventually become this guy. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I need to
Yeah,
definitely
I
check it
recommend
out
you
because I
watch
don't.
it
Yeah,
at
because I don't
Christmas.
watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen a single like much of Christmas movies in a while. I saw one recently. I forgot what it was called, but it starred Kurt Russell, and it was really good. Like
Oh.
he was there like as Santa, and
Alright.
he was like the more like, because sometimes they have the Santa Claus that's like he's secretly Santa Claus. He won't tell anybody. This guy was openly
Oh,
Santa
yeah.
Claus, so like
Oh,
he
okay.
knew people's names. He knew exactly, like, he's just like, but he something happened, and I think like he lost his sleigh and he lost his sack, so he's trying to get everything, back to himself, and he's performing. It's a funny movie. I have to find the name of it, and I'll recommend it to you. But
Alright.
um yeah, it was a good film, but like I definitely, and this is animated, so like I'd like to see an animated like kind of film like this.
Yeah.
How high is this for you in the rankings?
I'd put it at a solid B. Like, it's not. I think it's a
Oh,
good movie, but it's definitely not like something I would watch all the time. I'm only really gonna watch it during like
as
Christmas
good
season.
as it
You know
is,
what I mean?
unfortunately, it does not beat Vader or the
Yeah,
Pirates.
nah.
So like,
Just
yeah,
because those series are so much synced into my brain, and there's a lot of nostalgia there too.
it's
So
also a festive holiday movie. So like, as good as
yeah,
it is, it's like, oh well, it's not like, holy shit, it was better than the Star Wars prequels. But
yeah, true.
okay. Well, now this is an interesting one, and I have it on very fact that you do not know what this is. So this is called Black Mass. This came out around 20, I believe 14, probably I think 16. I'm getting
Okay.
it wrong, but it's 20. It's based on a true story. That man right there, that is Johnny Depp.
Oh, what?
This is a
Really?
Johnny Depp film. So
Oh,
this is based on a true story. This is set in, I believe, around 1970 Boston and late 70 Boston, early 80s Boston, Massachusetts. That's why it's called Black Mass. Um, so this revolves around a notorious gangster by the name of James Bulger or Whitey Bulger, and living in Southie or South Boston. So it's pretty much a story about this notorious gangster who just got out of, who's been out of Alcatraz for 13 years. This is after it shut down, even, and he is just, they're just
wait,
going.
Alcatraz is shut down.
Yeah, Alcatraz has been shut down.
Oh, how long? What?
Alcatraz has been closed down, I think, since 1960 something.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Alcatraz
Okay.
had been shut down. I'm pretty sure it's more than that, but like he's been in there, and I think it's stated in this film that like he's been out of Alcatraz for like 13 years, and it's been shut down ever since. I
Hmm.
could be wrong, but
Okay.
it did shut down in like around before like the 90s picked up. Um,
Okay.
because like out of the 60s, Al Capone was like the main big guy that was in there, like one of the mob bosses. So like he was already dead and gone. So like 60s, early
Oh, I've heard of
70s,
Al
yeah.
Capone.
I think
Yeah.
60 late 60s, early 70s is when it shut down. But it's still there. You can visit it, but he's just not. Yeah,
Okay.
you can still visit it. It's a tourist attraction now, but it's not like a prison anymore. Um, yeah, it's just pretty much it goes through his life. Just being a gangster. There's like it's a really cool movie, and now like it goes as far back, but like I mean, beware if you're a person who's triggered by like slurs and stuff, or like not really like the N word, but like F slur, like any kind of things. Like this is during a different time, so they obviously had to match the pace. This is a rated R film. I kid you not, I could probably tell you how many fucking F bombs are in this film, but it's amazing. Like they know how to say the word fuck in the best way possible that they can. Um, but Johnny Depp is playing
Yeah,
the
I
role.
say it in a way to fill space. So.
They're enhancers. Um, but this is Johnny Depp. He's playing Whitey Bulger or James Bulger, or he goes by Jimmy. What's crazy is
Oh.
is this such an underrated film? It has a huge stacked cast. Benedict Cumberbatch plays his older brother.
Damn.
Corey Stoll, who is known for the Yellow Jacket in Ant Man or Modoc now,
Oh.
he's in this
Oh.
film. Kevin fucking Bacon is in this film.
What the fuck?
Joel Edgerton. Not many people know about this guy, but he plays Luke's uncle in the prequel
Oh.
trilogy at the end. He's the guy at the end. He's got more stuff, but I can't name all of his films. Dakota Johnson. If you don't know her, she was Madam Web, but she's also 50 Shades
Uh,
of Grey. Uh, there's more. I can't. I think I can't remember some of them, but there's more. There's some dude in there from Parks and Rec, I think. But like other than that, there's not that many more. If you watch Breaking Bad, Jesse Plemons is there, the guy that played Todd. He's in there. It's such a stacked cast. It's crazy. Um, one of the Skarsgård brothers is in there. So like it's such a
What the
stacked
fuck?
yeah, it's such a stacked cast, dude. But it's pretty much 1970s Boston. It's following this notorious gang boss's lifestyle. The only thing that makes him iconic is he becomes an FBI informant to take down a rival gang. They're called the Ancelottis. Um, sorry, not Ancelot,
Enchiladas.
Anjulo family. My bad. I
Oh.
that was GTA. My bad.
The
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
GTA brain rot is
wow.
consuming
Shut
you.
up, dude. Okay, the Angulo family, but it's more of just like rival boss Italians. He becomes an informant to get the dirt on them, but while he's an informant, he's using this opportunity to be able to do shit that he can do without being touched because the guy who is I said he's like I don't know if you can tell, but he's the guy in the middle. His name is fuck. I'm blanking. Anyways, um, one of the main they grew up with him and his brother, and he went to be an FBI agent. They became gangsters. Uh, Jimmy's brother, who is played by Benedict Cumberbatch, is a senator of Boston.
Oh,
So like, there's connections there. They're like two different worlds.
well, wait. I thought Senator was only a Star Wars thing. What?
What did you just say? No. um, no, John Connolly. John Connolly is the guy's name.
Wait, what's a senator?
Really?
What?
He sits.
I
A senator is the Senate, like the House of the. It's the real thing. He's from
I thought it was
Canada.
only a Star
He's
Wars
from
thing.
Canada. No, it's not. Do you know what Obama was before he was president? He was a senator.
No. Oh, I did not know
It's a
that.
real thing. It's just like on the house. You sit on the House of the Senate. It's like one of them. You're a senator. It's
I
above.
am the
I could be
Senate.
wrong, but it's above. Well, okay. The version of the senator in because remember there's Senator Palpatine, there's Chancellor. Chancellor is obviously higher in Star Wars.
Oh,
Senator's
yeah.
underneath. Chancellor is pretty much version of president on Coruscant, but not president of the galaxy. But he's mainly in charge of the galaxy, kind of.
Uh,
Anyways, like the
okay.
coalition, whatever of planets. But like senator is under president, but like there's more layers to it. It's so weird. But the way that they do it in Star Wars, it makes it clear if you're the Senate, you're the overarching power. But it's weird. I think he's
Okay.
senator, and I think he even eventually tries to become mayor. But John Connolly is like Jimmy's friend, best friend, and they basically try to take down this rival mafia family. But while that's happening, Jimmy is taking advantage of his connections, making money, making business deals, assassinating people he needs to get out of his way, make his business thrive while working with the FBI. So John Connolly is getting rich, Jimmy's getting rich, all of this, and then within the film, the FBI starts to get suspicious. They're like, why is the Corey Stoll's character comes in, um, he's a different guy, and he comes in. He's like, well, why is nobody going after Whitey Bulger? He's like, what do you mean? He's like, well, he's a fucking criminal. What do you mean? What I mean? And even though that he is an informant, they're not telling the entire FBI. Also, I don't know if you are. If you're a fan of Stranger Things, Hopper is in this film as well.
Oh,
The
really?
guy who plays Hopper is in this film. I forgot his name. I know his name,
I forget his name too, but he's also in Black
but he's
Widow.
he's
So
also
that's.
Thunderbolts. Yeah, and Thunderbolts that are coming out, which is doing very well. I hear. Oh my god. I would want to
I heard
see.
it's
It's
amazing.
doing really
Yeah.
well. Yes. Um, but he's also in here. I think this is where he started because this was before like he got on Marvel before Stranger Things popped off after this film came out. But
Mm.
I think no 2014. I think. But anyway, I think I don't think he was popping off yet. I think I got the date of this movie wrong, but he was in here and just overall like eventually the FBI starts getting suspicious. They're like, why the hell is he being protected? What's going on here? They start slowly leading into the investigation. Um, they start understanding, like, the people that are dying is because John is tipping off, Jimmy and everything.
Ciao.
John. Tipping off Jimmy for these people, like, hey, take them out. They need to be taken out. All this and that, all this and that. It gets worse near the end because then they start killing people that are too important. The FBI is raising eyebrows, like, what the hell is going on here? It's like, we gave you this, now, like, what do we do with him after they take down the mob family? This is pretty much all spoilers, but, like, it's a great movie. But and eventually, it's led to a it's led to a real story. But later on, it goes through all the way, and then papers come out that, like, he's an informant, and he leaves Boston.
Oh,
That's how the ending goes. For many years he was on the number one most wanted list for a manhunt out for him.
damn.
They found him in 2011, and he had been incarcerated, and he's recently died a couple of years ago.
Oh,
He was
okay.
stabbed in prison. He was transferred and he was murdered in prison. Um, some of these
All right.
guys still walk around to this day. There's one dude named Johnny Martirano who was like the assassin, the silent assassin of the group. He's still alive. The guy that Jesse Plemons played was like this young kid um, who worked for him, was a hired gun. Like, these dudes, some of these dudes are still alive. Some of them are still in prison. Like, John Connolly's still in prison. He's been in there for like 60 years at this point.
Damn.
Probably less than that, but he had a life sentence of 60 years. Like, all these dudes, like, at the end it tells you like what happened to these guys. Most of them died, most of them are in prison. So some of these dudes are still living. Jimmy Bolger is the only one I think recently has been killed. Everyone else is possibly still alive. I think his brother is still alive. Yeah, and the streets of South Boston are safer now because these guys aren't around. But there was a time where people were still afraid. But um,
Damn.
this film is one of my favorites. It's like, it's not going to be an A. Here, the reason why is because what's an A is action movies and cool ass, you know, this was more of a drama thriller, you know,
Mhm.
crime, based on a true story kind of thing. It would be B for me. I probably wouldn't put it in front of Klaus because, well, that I haven't seen Klaus, and two, you haven't seen this movie, but they are two different kind of movies.
Yeah, they're like, I
I
don't
feel like
know.
in
I'm
regards
fine
to
with however you put it.
I feel like
So
in regards to, though, because it's like, yeah, it would need to go in front of Klaus. It's not a
yeah,
perfect A because there's like, it's good to me, but it's not like, the greatest film of all time. It's just like, it's one of those where it's like, if I want to watch a fucking crime drama and it involves Johnny Depp, well, there you go. It's
yeah.
really good. Like, it's amazing. I think it's like an hour and a half to 2 hours, and it's just, it's good. I like it. He
All
does the
right.
character very well. It's a whole different side of Johnny Depp that, like, I have never seen. Like, I've seen, Edward Scissorhands, Jack Sparrow, but like, this is one of his
I've
most
only ever seen Jack Sparrow.
this is one of his most serious roles,
Mhm.
and I enjoyed it. So that's where I put it
Yeah.
at. B tier for Black Mask. I encourage people to go watch it. I believe you can either rent or buy it, or I think you can watch it. I think it's on Hulu at some point by now, but it's a good movie.
Whenever I hear Black Mass, I just think of the Batman villain, man. I don't know, but
Well, Black Mask is who you're thinking of, I think.
yeah.
Well, when I think of Black Mask, I think of Black Mask. I think of Aleister Black, but that's probably where he got
Well,
it from.
speaking of Aleister Black, I'm kidding.
We already
I'm
talked about
kidding.
him. We're done with the
I know.
recap. We got 3
I
hours.
know.
Fucking, let's go. Let's get these. What we got next? Brother
Uh,
Bear. All right. So you had Brother Bear. Brother Bear. Yeah.
yeah, man. So this one barely made it onto my list, but I
It's there.
like, yeah, I like Brother Bear, okay? And the reason I like Brother Bear is because it's just a nice, fun, animated film. Well, it's actually pretty sad too, but it teaches a lot of good life lessons about how you shouldn't judge book by its cover. You shouldn't judge a bear just because it's a bear or just because it's an animal that you can't communicate with. And it's really because the movie is like this guy kills a bear and then he gets turned into a bear, and it like really
Oh,
shows like the story of like how your actions can do affect so much in nature, even if like you don't notice it when you're like a human, but the minute you become part of nature like as a bear, you start to realize the effect that just doing that one thing can have. And it's a really sad story. There's like there's deaths in it, right? Like there's one of the main characters brothers dies. The
damn.
main like bear that the main character meets, mother, is the one that he killed. So like the entire time he doesn't know for most of the movie that he killed this bear's mother that he's like traveling with now. But
Right.
at some point he has to tell him, and it's like super emotional, and Phil Collins just in the background singing the song, like the most emotional song ever. It's just
Oh
so
shit! I love Phil Collins. Wow.
yeah, like I think the entire soundtrack is like done by Phil Collins.
I
So
can feel it. That's amazing.
yeah, I might be getting that wrong. I think it's Phil Collins though. So anyway,
I'll have to check
um,
that out. Yeah.
yeah, it's really good. Plus the Canadian mooses kill me every time. The Canadian moose in this movie kill me every time, dude. They're like, "Oh, is that right? Eh? Oh, fuck you, eh? Oh, fuck you, eh? Shut up, eh? It's so good, so good."
He's making
Anyway,
fun of himself, ladies and gentlemen.
I am, yes. I love things that make fun of me. Anyway,
All right.
uh, I would put this in a solid C. So it's okay. I don't think it's like the
Weird.
best in the world, but
We're definitely putting it before Halloween though, because
yeah, yeah,
I mean both of these involve killing apparently, as you say. But I mean, I would see this more of an emotional teaching lesson versus this shit where it's like what
yeah.
not to do for a trilogy.
No, I think you should.
Um.
I think you should show people Brother Bear. It teaches some nice lessons, especially kids. I think it's great for kids to learn some
Well,
lessons,
yeah, I'm saying
important
like Halloween
lessons.
trilogy, like that's
Yeah,
yeah. Start off great, had a great sequel trilogy. Blech. So like Brother Bear definitely beats that
yeah.
for real. Um,
Uh,
I have, as someone
We
who's not
both
even a
have.
big fan. Okay, well,
We
you
both have.
decided. We're gonna say that here. I had okay. Originally, I had the Sonic trilogy. He did not. He's a fake fan. No, I'm kidding. Um,
I forgot.
no, we had the Sonic trilogy. He decided, well, let me just steal Redbeard's ideas. So no, um,
Yeah,
Sonic trilogy. I did that because, well, as not as big of a fan I am, these movies made me a fan in a way. It's not like I'm out here playing the games all the time, but it made me a fan. And for one of those live action video games, this shit managed to work.
it's the
I've
best video
seen
game adaptation for movies.
yes. Like we can even
Movies
even give an
specifically.
honorable mention of like the Mario Brothers movie. Video game live action movies used to suck ass. Like they literally could not. Ratchet and Clank. I'm talking about you, brother. They
This
even though that was more really was its own animated, but still like just any like a movie adaptation of a game just
is the
doesn't
best
always
movie
work.
adaptation of a game.
But this is the best
Straight up.
one. First one starts off solid. Second one is a great, phenomenal sequel. Third one fucking knocks that shit out of the
Yeah,
park.
I actually watched all three of these in one day, like a few weeks ago. So
Well, dang. But
yeah.
like, I started this off where it's like I got a buddy, IRL buddy, who's like really into Sonic, and he was like, "Dude, we should definitely watch this." And now the funny thing about this, we all know how this shit started. Naked hillbilly looking Sonic. Okay, we know how this started. We know what the original. We know exactly what the original looked like. We did not fuck with it. And as much to say that like we bullied them to change it, we went too far in a way. I can't say we because I didn't. Some people took it too far, but the studio listened. The design changed because for me, I was like Jim Carrey's carrying, no pun intended, is carrying this movie because of this shit design. And then they came back and were like, we're pretty much apologized and was like, here we go, here's the new design. Literally not identical, but like if you were to give a live action Sonic, this is what he would look like.
Mm-hmm.
This is perfect. I don't know what they were going for in the beginning. If they thought, oh, because it's in the real world, he has to kind of look like a human or close to it. But whatever
Yeah,
they were thinking, it had to be a PR. I kid you
I'll tell
not.
you what they're thinking. I can say it for
Go
you.
ahead.
So what? This is the reason most live action adaptations that have CGI or stuff like this are usually bad is because they try, like, especially if it's something from something. Like Sonic is a cartoony game. It has a cartoon art style, and if you try to take a cartoon character and try to make it more realistic, it doesn't work. That's the thing.
Hmm.
A lot of studios are scared to just literally copy and paste it, which is what you should do. A cartoon character can work in a live action setting. Obviously proven by the Sonic movies, but it's also been proven by other movies too. Like, just if you just literally
The
just take
Smurfs.
the
I
exact
mean,
same, yeah, exactly.
they
Like
weren't
if you
that
just
great films, but yeah.
yeah, if you just take the exact same character and don't like try to make it look any more realistic or anything, it'll work just fine. But when you try to make it look more real and realistic is when it looks bad. So
That's what I'm saying. I don't know
that's
why people didn't think it wouldn't work. If you go back to the fucking early 2000s where you had Garfield the movie, you
yeah.
had Stuart Little 1 and 2, where you had, a little bird or the little mouse, like all of them working in tandem together. Like I know you had, Snowball, he was a cat, but that was just a cat with, a mouth filter over it. But you had a CGI animated, mouse. It's like it worked. They knew how to do it. It's like literally ahead of its time. And, like they don't think it's going to work nowadays because if I'm going to be honest, their CGI is evolving backwards. It's shit. Some of it's shit. It's getting worse. There's
Well,
still some studios. Yeah,
it's
the
because
budget.
studios have figured out that it's expensive and they figured out how they can cut costs on it. So if they can,
Yes,
they will.
and they'd rather use an AI to fucking figure out shit more than anything to write shit as well. But it's like, yeah, they're gonna cut the cost. They don't care anymore that much. They don't need it if it's for like a 10-second scene. But when it comes to this, the budget that Paramount has, who is now owned by, I forgot, somebody bought Paramount. I forgot who did just recently. So I
Didn't
don't
Universal?
even.
I think it was Universal.
Yeah, so like I don't know what the future of like Sonic's gonna look like, but feel like it's gonna be fine. But Paramount has always had such a good budget in its films, so like this one was already looking well. I feel like I don't know what they were doing making the original, but it's not even about the designs. This is about the trilogy as a whole. I've never had any misses in this trilogy. It's always been a hit. The first one is the best start to a trilogy. The second one gets even better with the introduction of Knuckles and Tails is more involved now. And then the third one is literally like the fucking end game or like the Infinity War. Like Shadow, holy shit that story. It's all great. And like for me as a personal ranking, I do have it up there in A. But I want to know what your take is because I feel like you'd
Okay.
have it higher.
Uh, I probably I don't know about that, but I'm a big Sonic fan. I wasn't a Sonic fan for a long time, but once the like
Usually how that works for
first,
people.
huh?
It's usually how that works for people. They aren't at first, but then like it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, like I think it was after like the second movie came out, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna check out what these are because I watched the movies and I was like, yeah, these are cool. So I was like, I'll check out the games. I'm gonna watch a bunch, and then I became a huge Sonic fan. So anyway, I'm a huge Sonic fan now. But I think I just watched these movies too, so they're fresh in my mind. I honestly, after like rewatching all these, one and two are kind of just they're good, but they're not like incredible. But three, Sonic 3, oh my
They were
God, is
building up
that
for that.
such a good
They were
movie?
building up for that to be a huge climax, like ending. Like they were building that shit up for a long time. They knew they
Yeah.
had Shadow planned, but they were going for the third movie for sure.
Yeah. Plus, Shadow's my favorite character of Sonic.
Shadow is
So.
your favorite character. Where is Shadow Generations 3? Anyways, uh,
But yeah, no, so Shadow is like they did Shadow's character so well in Sonic 3. Like they actually adapt the thing is these movie adaptations are like the best I think they could have possibly been. Well, because they're not the exact same as like the actual stories. They're similar in certain ways, but they're quite different in some other ways. But it actually works
the
well, and I think the things
voices,
that they change works. I
yeah,
think
the
they should have
voices
changed
even
those
like
things.
match. Like Keanu, perfect for
Yeah.
Shadow. You had Knuckles is perfect. Idris Elba, like
I
All of them.
doubted
It's
those
like
too.
I doubt. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I doubted them. People and the rumors, like people were like between Keanu and then Hayden Christensen. I was like, okay, Hayden Christensen's great. I would have chosen Keanu any day because of the voice that he
Mm.
has. Hayden Christensen has that slow tone, but I'd be hearing Anakin the whole time if I thought about it. But no, Keanu managed to surprise me, even though he doesn't really need to anymore because he's great. But in a movie of that caliber, and the voice and everything just match Shadow, because like I don't know how his voice is in the games or like any media much because I don't watch them, but I would suspect for Shadow to be that kind of guy, he would have a low voice like
He's
Keanu's.
edgelord.
He's edgelord, so he would have
He's
a
edgelord.
low voice like Keanu Reeves can do.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I still stand where it's like it's an A, but I could compromise depending on where you want to put these at.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
An A.
I just after rewatching the first and second movie, dude, they do kind of drag a bit,
I
but
wonder where
you know.
its placement would be though, because we have Pirates, Star Wars, and Batman. I feel like it would go in
Mm,
front of Batman, obviously, but I don't know where it would
yeah,
go in front. If it would
I'd put
go,
it above prequels, but
okay, yeah, I think it work for me.
just because I think prequels again, it's
Because
just
that's
that
that's
second
the
movie
prequels.
just
Yeah, that's in
you know.
general. Because like something
Yeah.
funny thing is people nothing has beaten Revenge of the Sith yet. It
Yeah.
might, but I don't know if anything will. But um, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, next one is my pick, Mad Max Fury Road.
The most recent
Um,
one?
no, so the recent one was Furiosa, which I have yet to
Oh,
watch, which I
okay.
need to get on that because so I. Funny thing is, I have never watched the original Mad Maxes that had Mel Gibson. I believe that's right, Mel Gibson. I think so.
Is
Which is he's in this list as well
yeah,
under
is he
one of our.
retired?
I think he. No, he's still in film. He's working on stuff. He's more of a producer and director now, but like, no, he's
Mm.
still. But this Mad Max was like pretty much a retelling of the series. But Fury Road is pretty much like the world is already established. These characters are already here. These are obviously newer characters because I don't know the full lore of the original Mad Maxes, but like it stars Tom Hardy. Um, he's Max, and pretty much like majority the entire film they're on the road. That's why it's called the Fury Road. It's cool. The score is amazing. Um, there's like this one badass scene where they're driving down, and there's this dude called the Doof who is literally like strumming a guitar while there's giant speakers behind him with flames and shit coming out and flames coming out of the guitar. Badass sequence. But pretty much like the whole entire point of the plot of the movie is Furiosa is supposed to be shipping oil to another town away from their like the rig or whatever it's called, I believe, where like the Immortan, the leader of the group, um, uh, pretty much the real thing is it's a heist. The Immortan has all these wives and they want to be free. So the entire heist is for Furiosa to transport these wives away from the Immortan to a safer area. The Immortan does not like this, and he's trying to get all of his men. There's I can't remember what they're called, but
Wait,
like they're
I'm
like,
lost. What?
what do you mean?
What like wives? Like people?
So like this is set during a post-apocalyptic kind of like era. Like the whole world is like a post-apocalyptic. It's like mainly desert, like craters and stuff. And there's this big area where this big dude who's in charge of all these like this gang of people. He's called the Immortan, and the women that he has are like wives, and like he's pretty much they're breeding. Like oh, no one can breed with these women but him if that was the case.
Oh, okay.
We
I
find that
see.
later on, like pretty much he's the reason like that the life continues in a way. But he's old, he's dying, he's decrepit, he's got a badass mask, I think. But the whole thing is like she's trying to save these people. She's trying to get out of here. She doesn't want to live this life anymore. She's trying to save them, and well, the Immortan doesn't. I think she also steals something else like very important, but they're trying to escape. and the Immortan gets wind of this, and literally all of his people are chasing down Furiosa and the big giant ass tanker with like all these like big ass trucks and shit with like so cool. Like the whole time, mainly like they're driving. Most of the whole fucking film, they're driving. But there's great settings. There's one of my favorite scenes where like they go through in this giant sand tornado and shit. Like it's amazing. Um, I believe it's very cool. Uh, it's one of my favorites. I have to watch Furiosa, but I enjoyed this film just because of the score and just everything about it. And Witness Me, like it's really cool.
All
But
right.
it would be hmm, it'd be a very low A because like it's good.
Oh, okay.
It'd be a very low. In a way, I would have said B just because like it's one of those action movies where it's like it's constant, but like just from like the music score, the constant like nonstop action that this movie is having. There's like a brief moment where like she goes back to a place she grew up at that's like completely flattened and destroyed. That they're done for a little bit, but like it's nonstop action the whole way, and like if your adrenaline would be pumping, it would be this movie. Like it's really good.
All right.
I like it. So low A for Mad Max Fury Road. I gotta watch Furiosa for sure.
I heard Furiosa wasn't liked by some people, but I don't know.
It wasn't that great, I hear, but like, I feel like I wanted to continue the duology. It's a prequel to like Fury Road, so like because it's Anya Taylor Joy, and then there's Chris Hemsworth is like one of the villains who's mentioned in the first film, I think, but I still would give it a watch.
Okay.
Alrighty, we are going to do Inside Out. Your pick.
Oh, oh yeah, man. So
Booker T always showing up.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people know Inside Out. I mean, most likely you've watched it. Have you watched it?
I have not watched one or two.
Wow.
They came out after I like was on that dry spell of like not watching animated films, or alone
Damn.
at least. But I never like watched. Yeah.
I'll make you watch it. I'm sure. Or
Okay.
something.
That's
I
a,
don't
that's a
know.
threat. He just threatened me. Hey, help.
uh, but basically, it's great movies. I mean, the second movie was like on top of the charts. It was like the most watched thing of like 2024, I think, or something like
Huh.
that. But anyway, Inside Out and Inside Out 2 are such good movies. It's basically just about a girl growing up and having to deal with her emotions and bunch of it's just about emotions and it's really wholesome. And the first movie basically shows how you need sadness to have joy and you need to have multiple emotions to feel certain things and eventually because it starts out with every like memory being one emotion, right? But then by the end of the first movie, I'm gonna spoil it for you. I don't care. By the end of the first movie, it's basically like all the memories then start having like multiple emotions in one, which is
Oh
how it's
wow.
like actually gets as you grow older, right? You start experiencing more complex emotions and everything like that.
Hmm.
So in the first movie, she's like in like middle school. They move to like a new town and everything, right? Well, not middle school actually. I think elementary or grade 5 or something like that. Anyway, then the second movie is when she's a teenager and she gets new emotions like anxiety and stuff like that, and things get more complex and
Right.
puberty starts happening. It's actually really good. I know a lot of people are like lower on Inside Out 2 than they are Inside Out 1, but I think they're both phenomenal and I actually like 2 maybe more just because well, yeah, anyway. Sorry. I like 2 more. But I think they're both like really incredible films and I feel like everyone should show this to anybody because I feel like it just kind of like shows how kids and how teenagers can feel when it comes to emotions sometimes
Right.
and like how their mind works and this really like shows a good way of how people's minds work and everything. But I personally would put this um
And this is both
uh
movies, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'd put this probably oh fuck. Um I'd have this above probably Pirates, to be honest, just to top A.
Wow, an A.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. Like really good movies.
I can't necessarily argue since I haven't seen it, but it's like
I I recommend you watch it, bro. It's
I
good.
can't. It's like me. I want to compromise and say put it between World's End and Sonic,
I'm
because like I haven't seen
I'm
it, but
fine
it's
with
like I
that.
mean, because like a compromise of like me having not seen it, just because like I
Yeah,
can't give a
I'm fine with
judgment
that.
from you explaining it. Yeah, it does sound interesting because like everybody wants to like know how these emotions work and it will help
Actually, put
people.
Sonic above it.
Oh, bro, just broke its heart. I mean, yeah, because Sonic, between like it's having a full, not just because it has a full trilogy, but because all of that in there, it's like there. I'm
Yeah.
sure this is a great film. I've heard it is, and especially like some a division between part two, even though you believe
Yeah.
it's still
Clear your
good.
schedule for next weekend. I'm gonna make you watch it.
I don't know if I can do that, but I'll let you know. I'll see. I don't know what my schedule is next week yet, but I'll see.
Okay.
Don't even go to work. No. Yeah, definitely behind Sonic. This
All
one's
right.
gonna be a double decker
Double
deluxe
decker
with
bus.
cheese. I'm pretty much this is if you look at it from here, it is the Raimi trilogy and then the Sony versus Mark Webb Amazing Spider-Man duology films. It's but this is mainly together is going to be just the Sony versus Spider-Man films, but I'm going to rank them individually, of course. Uh, I don't know why I did it, but I was like, if we're talking Spider-Man, I'm just going to throw both of these together because and no, notice none of the newer ones are in here, just because I
Even
didn't
though
want to
they're
make everything
better.
Spider-Man. Um, what did you say? They're better.
Yeah.
All right, rage bait. Anyways, so like with the Raimi trilogy, I believe you have never seen one, right?
I have not seen the Raimi trilogy
Raimi
or the
trilogy.
Amazing
Okay,
Spider-Man, so
so Raimi trilogy has like you know for some reason,
oh, I know the memes.
well the memes yes, but like the hit or misses in this is like it's very strange because like the first one is obviously the greatest introduction to Spider-Man I've ever seen, and like during ahead of its time. Like there's better now, obviously, but as ahead of its time for a film that was like the early 2000s, they did it well. And the films are basically like this is Sam Raimi's trilogy I'm talking about for people. Um, like for ahead of its time, and Sam Raimi as an interesting choice. He is a Spider-Man fan, but he's also a horror movie creator. So if noticing if there's any horror aspects in these films, it's because Sam Raimi is, directing them. I don't necessarily remember what horror aspect was in the first one, but in the second film, the one where Doc Ock is in the hospital, the arms are attacking everybody. That's a pretty much horror, and it felt like a horror film. And then three with the Venom segment, but first one's a great introduction. The second one is my favorite, just because of like Doc Ock is one of my favorite villains in Spider-Man. Like people are like, "Oh, Green Goblin, Venom." Doc Ock is one of my favorites, probably my favorite, just because I love the fucking. I just love everything about an evil scientist with fucking giant metal arms. I don't
Yeah,
know. I
I
I,
agree.
I love the actor they chose for him. Like these actors that Sam Raimi knew who to get for these damn. They look so out of the like. I know Doc Ock in this film looks different from what he does in the comics, but they knew how to get the people to look like their characters somehow. Like if you
Well,
watch
I
Spider
mean,
Man 3, Sandman's character looks like Sandman in the comics.
yeah, I mean the thing is like the Spider-Man characters are like in the comics, they're so fucking like old school that they if anybody literally like close to resembled them, they look like idiots. Like they would.
Yeah,
Like
but like in the way it's like Tobey Maguire has that nerdiness about him, but sometimes it's kind of like too cheesy. Mary Jane in the film is like in a way a whore. I'm sorry, literally just the way her character's portrayed. I don't know. They were taking from Ditko comics. Like that's what Raimi took from, which Steve Ditko and the originals like Stan Lee worked on. That's what these derive from. The newer Spider-Man stuff derived from either Ultimate comics, which I believe that's what TASM comes from, and then Homecoming. It's like its own new adaptation in a way. but between these two, like they are Ultimate Comics or Ditko Stanley originals. But they're meant to be cheesy and corny. The quips are meant to be cheesy and corny because that's what they're deriving from the original stuff back in the day.
Yeah.
Two is my favorite. Two will be my all-time favorite. One is not bad, but one is not great. It's a great start. Three is literally saved by the memes. Mostly all three of them are. Two doesn't need saving from the memes. Three, it does. Um, Three, if it was just all about Sandman and not Venom, it would have been a great story. If three didn't involve Venom like they had to involve Venom, it would have been great. They could have continued it. But because Venom was pushed onto Sam Raimi, he didn't know anything about it. Well, it turned out to be shit. Um, in a way, it's like mediocre good. It's not. It's fun good. It's a fun movie, like you said about FNAF. It's a fun movie, but it's not a great movie. One is good, but not great. Two, it's not perfect, but it is great and fun at the same time.
Okay.
It felt like more of the budget went into two as well. Like they were so successful in the first Spider-Man, they immediately started filming the next one, and it all turned out great. I don't know how, but it just like when people say, "What's your favorite movie from the Raimi trilogy?" If you watch it, most people say two
All right.
these days. Now it's three, but for me but now because of three, it's going to be in B tier.
Oh.
Like, these are my favorite. This is one of my favorite trilogies, but B tier, it's never been on par with an S tier. If I was doing Spider Man 2, it would be around maybe a low S,
Let's
but I'm
see.
doing the trilogy. So if 3 was good, it would be in an A, but it's probably a low A, one or low B because I don't want to put it in front of a. Well, unless you prefer putting it in front of a Christmas movie, I would probably put it in front of Black Mass as
Doesn't
well.
matter to me. I haven't seen them, so I can't. I wouldn't
Very
say.
true. You can't say anything. I mean, you can give your opinions, but I mean, like, the
I just don't
memes are
have
all
any.
of you. Yeah. But TASM, I'm also gonna have to throw that in there. But TASM, um, it's a love hate because TASM one. For those who don't know what TASM stands, it's Amazing Spider-Man. That's just the abbreviation. Um,
Oh,
it's it's a it's a very different vibe in the first film. It's more darker. Like you go through the same shit you go with again, like Uncle Ben dying again. It's like it feels like that Batman effect where it's like we've seen his parents die so many times, but Uncle Ben dying and him chasing down the shooter. The suit looks like scaly looking, like he looks scary in the first film. Like the suit's great. The second one, or you have the lizard. Lizard is like was one of those villains that like people enjoyed, but like didn't see as much of a threat. They put him in the first film. He actually was great. Um, TASM 2 involves Electro, Blue Electro.
oh.
uh, he's redeemed and made up for it in No Way Home, but regardless of people saying like he doesn't look blue, I like this version of Electro, especially the theme song that came with it. Probably one of the greatest villain themes ever. If you haven't heard it, dude, I'll send it to you. It's fucking great.
Yeah, send it to me.
The
I never
entire
heard of it.
well, it's 12 minutes. The Electro Suite, the entire thing. Yeah, I probably send that whole thing to you. You love music, right? Hmm?
Yes, I'm a huge
Yeah,
music
I'll
person.
send the Electro Suite to you. It's amazing.
Okay.
It's if you love fucking dubstep beats. I mean, it's like it's not full on, but it's like his whole thing was like he's electro. And they're like, oh, and it's Hans Zimmer too. It's Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer is phenomenal.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love Hans Zimmer.
it's Hans
He's on
Zimmer.
this list in other places too.
Yeah,
So,
it's Hans Zimmer and the Magnificent Six. But I don't know if that's like. I think that was just a random thing for like an allusion to Sinister Six. But and then Pharrell Williams is like the vocals. Yeah,
oh, okay,
because I'm
damn.
happy. Even though he's like more, yeah, he's like the voices in Electro's head. But it's like a great film, and it's like one of those instances where it's like, well, it's a good film. A great. It's one of those instances like it should have just been Electro's movie, no Green Goblin at the end, and no Rhino post credit scene or pre credit scene because Rhino's on the cover of the fucking movie. I don't know. It's I have respected it more since. It would have been a C. I've respected it more since, and I've respected Andrew, but it would be a low. It'd be behind Raimi.
Okay.
I know you can't say much on it
I
because
can, yeah,
you do have one Spider-Man thing coming up, but it ain't that. But
I do. Yeah.
You're so yeah for Raimi trilogy and TASM, Raimi is a high B and TASM is a low B. But now we're going into the next one, Big Hero 6.
You've seen this movie?
I've seen it. It's great.
Okay. Uh,
S.
thank you. Honestly, this is
I
probably
was
the one
joking, but
I,
actually no, it is. It's S. That's a great
dude.
movie.
I'm not even lying. This is probably actually the one I enjoy most out of all these so far. Now listen, I doubt you're gonna agree with me, but like I love this movie, man. I do.
For
I
the
love this
Revenge
fucking
of the
movie.
Sith. Oh,
Would you be willing to put it behind Revenge of the Sith, though?
I would be willing, yes. As in front of like Guardians, yeah. I mean, Guardians has had an emotional
Yeah, I mean
impact
it's
on the
like the
third one,
same thing.
especially. But like it,
It's the same thing.
Big
It's like
Hero
the
Six,
this is the
Guardians of the
trope.
Galaxy. I mean,
It's the
it's
trope I love. I love this. I'm telling you, I love this trope. I have like 3 movies on here with this trope where like a group of misfits come together to become like heroes. I love this trope,
exactly.
dude.
Dude, it's amazing. I love that damn movie.
For anyone who doesn't know, Big Hero 6 is a Disney movie. It's also a Marvel movie, so you know.
Yeah, they're
Um,
connected. Yeah,
it's based on a Marvel comic. But it's an animated movie and it's actually fucking incredible, super emotional, super and also I relate to this movie so hard. Like I love this movie as a kid and I related to it as a kid because I had an older brother, right? Well, I don't know why I said had. I have an older brother anyway.
your
And
brother
he's like
vanished into the shadow realm somehow.
no, no. But no, my older brother has always been like way older than me, and I've always felt like he's so much
Yeah,
smarter than me and stuff, and he's so wise, and I always looked up to him in such a huge way, and I still
right.
look up to him. And
You
like
still
I
do, yeah.
always I always felt kind of like Hero where listen, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I always felt like a genius when I was younger, and I
Nothing
I
wrong with
I
that.
mean some people, a lot of my parents, I mean, parents always call their kids smart though, so it doesn't really matter, but whatever. But I was called smart by like everybody I knew, so I really thought I was like some genius or something, whatever. It was dumb kid logic. Anyway, I just
Hey,
really loved this movie and connected with it, but yeah, I also love the bot fighting part of it, and I love Baymax. I just, oh, dude, I don't know I can't even like properly form my thoughts. I just love this movie.
all you gotta say is this year. For
No,
sure.
but there is one bad thing about this movie. That's
Oh,
the twist villain part is the bad part because it's like, duh. And I think twist villains are kind of just dumb. So, whatever. But
yeah, it
that's
didn't really
about it.
need to happen. It was like, oh my god, it's the old man. And I'm like, okay. It's like, yeah, if he was on screen more, they were like blaming someone else the whole time. And then, yeah, you didn't really need a twist villain. You could have just kept the Kabuki man just to be like, just a bad guy. You didn't have to
Well, it was
be.
also just obvious that it was him to me. I
Oh
don't know.
yeah, because they were blaming the wrong guy the whole time. I was like, they're really focused on this wrong guy. It's probably not him. It's probably the other
Yeah.
guy. So good film though. Great film.
Yeah. Do you have anything to say about it?
Great film. No,
Okay.
I mean, yeah, like I mean, I think I've watched it like at least 2 or 3 times. I will say that this film is to blame for introducing me to Fallout Boy. Funny enough, like people are probably wondering how it took. I'm like almost 25 years old, and it took this film to introduce me because Fallout Boy's been around for so long. Listen, man, I grew up around a dad who enjoyed rap music more than anything. So growing up listening to rap was most of my thing. So I got into the metal game and rock game very late in my life, even though my family has played 80s rock around me all my life. But it took me a while to find my own sound. But this movie introduced me. I'm pretty sure there's like one song of theirs in the movie, and
There's
I
two.
enjoyed it. There's two, but I enjoyed it, and it
Well, no, no, never mind this one. Immortals is the song and it was made for this
yes, it's
movie.
Immortals, and it was made for this movie,
Yeah.
and I enjoyed that song. And then I found all their other stuff, and I was like, okay, this film is the blame to that. So it's a good blame. It's not like, oh, you suck. No, it's a good blame. But that's all I can say for the movie. It's a great movie.
Yeah, relevant movie.
Stanley was in it. Stanley
True.
was the dad of what's his name or whatever.
Fred.
The Fred.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I wear them
And
front. I wear them back. I turn them inside out, then front, then back. So good.
I've seen that recently too.
And I did do that after watching that movie. Don't don't do it, people. Don't.
Don't do it. Um, Speaking of amazing, the next film we're
You've
is the Spider Verse films
seen these, right? Obviously.
across and yep into. Oh yes,
And this is a trilogy, right? Like this is going to be a
it's
trilogy. We
going to be
know
a
this.
trilogy eventually. Yes, but
But
obviously
already,
ranking it as a duology, of course.
yeah,
I'll give my insight. Across is 10 times better than Into.
I
Um,
disagree.
oh, I want to hear that, but I only think that because of the way shit got. Honestly, just I am glad that they're appreciating the Spot as a villain who actually has the capabilities of like fucking with shit. Like
Yeah.
in the comics, he's still in a way a joke, but like he can do so much shit and warp reality. The fact that he's becoming a serious villain now instead of villain of the week as they say or a joke villain really helps me appreciate that they're paying attention to low, like he would be considered C class villain. Now he's A class,
Hmm.
multiversal threat. It's amazing. I like it's a lot, but I want to hear your take on like what you said about Across or
Okay,
the
I
entire
think
films in general.
I think Into is better than Across, and I think so just because I feel like Into can stand on its own, whereas Across
Yeah,
needs Into and Beyond. Like, I mean,
right. Yeah,
doesn't need
because
Beyond, but at least needs
Across
Into.
has that cliffhanger, so it's like, and now you have to wait another 2 years before we see the ending there,
Yeah,
and which is
but I'm
fine.
fine with that. I thought a lot of oh sorry, I saw a lot of people getting mad when there was a cliffhanger ending. I was like, I'm fine with it. Nobody got this mad when Infinity War did it. Why are people getting so mad about Across doing it? I didn't understand.
People
Like what?
kind of did get mad with Infinity Wars ending, but like they didn't have to wait long. They actually waited a whole year for the next one, but yeah, because like they were slated to releasing in 2024, and then the writer's strike happened and pushed a lot of shit back. But they were still trying to slate for like 2025, and then no news happened for like a good couple. And now they're like 2027. They definitely added some more shit, probably redrew, recreated, and needed to whatever they're figuring out.
Yeah,
But
I'm
I
fine
mean,
with it. Take as long as you need. I just
the
need it to end
storyboards were
well,
leaked
you
and
know?
stuff too, and shit looked crazy already. Like I remember seeing some leaks. I don't know if you did. I won't ever show
I
them,
did
but
not, no.
yeah, I saw a small couple things, but I won't discuss them here because it's leaks. But
I hope they don't change
um,
anything just because of leaks.
no, I mean it wasn't like a big like leak. It was just like one major part, but it wasn't like anything spoiler like a person dying or something. Like it wasn't nothing like that. But it was something like that would look cool and be like, I want to see this now. But
Yeah.
and then like there's things going on with like Shamik Moore and like Haley Steinfeld. Like I'm not saying it's a weird chemistry going on here. Like she just
Wait,
got
Haley
married.
Steinfeld's in the movie?
She's Gwen.
Oh, I didn't know that. My bad.
Yas, yas.
I'm a huge
Yeah.
Haley Steinfeld fan. Totally.
Are you being sarcastic here?
I don't know what I'm being, bro.
Anyways, where would you
I like
put
her
this?
music.
Her music's great.
Anyway,
Where would
yeah,
you
I
put
like her.
this?
I'd also put this in S. I don't. I think this is
Whoa! All
incredible.
right. Yeah, I mean, no, they are the best Spider-Man
I don't know
movie
where I would put it in S, but
in a
I
while.
would put it in
I feel
S.
like you'd put it behind Big Hero, but would
I don't
you?
know. I actually
Gotta
probably
make a
like it more than
choice.
Big Hero
We're
6, to
hitting
be honest.
4 hours on this pod. Let's go. Like,
I think I probably like it more than Big Hero 6.
damn, you hurt Hero's feelings.
Yeah. Also, I just
Talking to
realized, depending on how much longer this is, it's gonna be longer than both Into and Across put together.
shit. I'm
Just
going for.
think about that.
Let's go for 3 hours and 30. I'm fine with it. Oh, you mean this podcast?
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, dude, this podcast is about to be longer than my stream, which was 5 hours long. Uh,
No, it won't take that much longer.
this is a big favorite of mine, the Rocky films. Now, I'm not counting all of
It's about
them.
how hard you get and keep moving forward. It's about how much you can take and keep moving forward.
Yeah, no. Um, but the Rocky films, mainly 1 through 4. I'm not talking about Rocky Five. I'm not talking about Balboa. I'm not talking
There's a
about.
5?
There's a five. Yes.
Jesus.
It's not even really a boxing fight. He beats up a dude in a street fight. Like it's not even really that big of a deal. Five shouldn't have really happened. Balboa shouldn't have really happened, but Rocky wanted to have like one final thing, and then eventually years later, the Creed films would happen. I have not watched any of the Creed films, and I'm thinking about binging them one day because there are characters that come back. There's characters that but um, so the Rocky series 1 through 4 is pretty much it. Now, anytime if people like I told him, if you were to sit there and say you want to watch a movie and I'm not in for it, but you tell me it's a Rocky, I'm gonna sit down and pay attention. Now, the main ones of Rocky that bleed into my mind always is Rocky 3 and 4. Now, Rocky 4 is very iconic because that's Ivan Drago. That is also Rocky's biggest fight because it's a giant Russian brute um, capable of destroying someone, which he eventually does in the film. Um, I don't know how much of these films you've seen, but like I feel like you should experience these on your own without any spoilers. So, um, there's someone in 3 who is from the who was during the WWE that shows up in 3.
Isn't it Triple H or something?
No, this is before Triple
Randy
H's time.
Savage?
No, that's
Hulk
Spider
Hogan?
Man. Yes. So Hulk
Got it.
Hogan. This is during the time Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan even mentions this in that Vince documentary. I don't know if you remember, but he mentioned like he got fired by Vince Senior because he wanted to go do the Rocky film. Um, the
Hmm.
Rocky 3 is that because Rocky 3 he fights Mr. T, or Clubber Lang is what his name is. Rocky 4 he fights Drago. Rocky 1 and 2 he fights Apollo Creed. Rest in peace, Carl Weathers. It's these are great films. Like the first story, like him meeting uh Adrian, like meeting every like just so much of this story. One of Sylvester Stallone's like iconic. There's so many like Rambo, like so many things that he's done. This is one of his like most iconic stories that he's ever made. And during this time, boxing was rising. Like Ali had just finished. Tyson was coming in at some point, I think later on. But like this was just such an emotional story through all the way, and one of the best regarded as like fictional boxing films of the underdog story of getting stronger, which is pretty much his theme song, "Getting Stronger." Um, dun, 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 like just him running up the steps is the iconic scene. Like him being able to run up them without stopping, without losing energy. It's just like these all four of these films. 3 and 4 make it better for me because they start eventually getting better. Um, but 1 and 2 are obviously classics. Uh, I love them to death. They're funny enough.
Okay.
This
You
is an
know,
E- this is an S pick for me.
okay, I haven't seen them, so I'm fine with that, but I just have to say the only thing I know about Rocky is okay, don't make fun of me. Okay, please don't make fun of me.
Ha no.
But I was young, okay, and this was the time when I would just watch YouTube every day and I'd watch Dragon Ball Z every day, okay? So there was this one edit of Dragon Ball Z and it was basically just the Rocky speech, but it was like saying it to like
from
Goku.
from 5. Yeah.
And it was just like the Rocky speech to, and it was just like saying it to like Goku, and it was just showing like clips of like Goku and Gohan like doing some crazy shit, and I would cry every time I watched that, and I would get so emotional, and I'd be like, "Fuck yeah!" I'd get inspired by that shit. So
It's a good speech. The weird thing about 5 is like I always find funny. It's like 5 is not that long after um 4, and his son is already grown up. Like his son was like a little kid in the fourth film watching his dad beat up Drago, and then immediately 5 comes out, and like it's supposed to be set a little bit after 4, and his son is already tall and young. I don't understand it. I don't know where they were going with it. It's a great story, and it's like trying to see if Rocky still can do it. He tries to train a kid, and then that guy turns on him and stuff. It's like there really is no boxing match. He literally just beats him up in the street in front of people, like it's a street fight. Uh, and then Rocky Balboa is like he tries to have that Eye of the Tiger still, but he loses it, and it's like the Creed films kind of save it, but Rocky's not in four. He's unfortunately not in three because there was like creative differences. It's three and four obviously make it better, but like it's even though I say one and two wasn't lackluster. It's just like it's a slow building story, but it's still a low S for me because like I'll even put it before your silent voice film because like that is a whole different like it's also the first ever like sports fictional film we're putting up here. So
Yeah.
like it's a little bit different than all of them, but in a way it still sees it as a high movie because
Mhm.
like of how much inspiration these damn films have and just like an under
Yeah.
like it's a motivational movie. It's like if you're the underdog of your own story, you can make it and there's obstacles in between, but you know, it's about
True.
how hard you hit and keep moving forward. Is pretty much what it is. So,
Yeah.
speaking of hard hitting, Kung Fu fucking Panda.
Have you seen these movies? How many have you seen? Which ones?
All three of them.
There's a fourth, so you've seen
Yeah,
three.
I have not
Okay.
seen. Yeah, yeah, the trilogy, but I haven't seen four. So,
Um, top S.
are you really sure? Because I'm gonna have to
I'm
disagree with you
positive.
here.
This is my second favorite series. Okay, this is Kung
Oh
Fu Panda is my
man,
second favorite movie of all time.
the funny thing is like I'm gonna have to disagree here. Like I'm, first of all, if we wanted to keep it S, it would not be top for me. Uh, for
You're not even
this,
considering it S. You're crazy, bro.
I'm not considering it S because we've talked about three. How three is like it didn't need a three,
Well, it
even
didn't
though
need a
I
three or
said
four, but still, it's
well,
so good.
one and two
It's
are
Jack
great and
Black,
iconic.
man.
Okay, Jack Black can't always do well. Looking at you, Minecraft movie. Anyways, no, I can't judge that because I have not
That
watched it.
movie is done exceptionally well. Might not be a good movie, but it's done well.
You're rage baiting. Listen,
I'm
no,
not. It's
it
done
has it
well. It's
has
done
in multiple.
numbers.
There's mixed criticisms and reviews. Okay, I understand.
I never said I
I
said it was a bad
also
movie, but it's done
I
well. It's made money.
also can't judge as well because I cannot judge a film without watching it, and I will not judge a film without watching it. I like I said in that video of mine, the rant. I've just shit on it for fun because like the whole world's doing it, but it's not really. I don't hate it. I can't hate it because I haven't seen it. You people in the theaters are making me hate it, but it's your fault. Stop doing it. Anyways, like there could be a bit of a compromise here of where it goes into an A because like I don't see them as
He
S.
is
Like
crazy.
the only reason is because I love one and two. Um, Shen is like probably my favorite over Tai Lung as a villain because the man is a fucking he is a menace.
Shen
uh,
murdered an entire race. He literally tried to
yes,
commit racial. What's it
yes,
called?
he's a terrorist. He's a racial discrimination. I don't know.
Warfare? I don't know.
Racial warfare, something. He's a terrorist, and he's also like he's worse than Tai Lung, like in types of like villain. But three, then you get Kai, who just wants to steal like what was it the chi or the
Chi.
powers of like the chi of like the people that brings it down for me because like I liked him as a villain, but it
Yeah, no, I
just
agree. 3 and 4 aren't that great, but like 1 and 2 itself just carry it for
no.
me.
It's split in half. You have one and two great, and then three and four that cannot be S
But
for
1 and
me.
2 are so good that it's S
Also,
for me.
I haven't seen four, so I can't agree with you here.
Ugh.
I have to give
God
it
damn
I have
it,
to give it an
bro.
A, but I don't know where to set it unless I set it next to Inside Out because they're both animated. But it's definitely
No,
better.
it's better than Rocky, at least.
In S, you're still trying to fight for S.
I am. I goddamn right I am, bro.
So, in your opinion, it's better than Pirates and Inside Out and the
Yes,
prequel trilogy.
easily. I don't care how fucking dumb I seem. I'm sure I seem dumb. I don't care, okay? I don't care because Kung Fu Panda is a series that
I
I've
mean, it
loved
is better
ever
than
since I was
Rocky,
a
but
child.
like, it is better than Rocky, but better than Revenge of the Sith. You're tripping, dude. I don't know.
I like it better than Revenge of the Sith. I like it better than all of these movies, but
Uh,
that's just favoritism, okay?
yeah, I was-
I listen, this is my favorites list, okay? It's not the best. All right, I'm not saying 3 and 4 are the best, but I love those movies anyway. So, you know,
I mean, that's probably a good placement. Like, it's a boxing movie, you
I
know.
mean, just think about Kung Fu Panda, okay? Think about Kung Fu Panda. Tai Lung is an incredible villain,
Uh huh.
okay? And at the end, where he's like fucking choking out Shifu, and like Shifu's like, or no, he's not choking out Shifu. He's like looking over at the staff of Oogway, and like Shifu's like, I, I'm sorry. And Shifu apologizes for like doing what he did to Tai Lung, and then Tai Lung for a split second. The animation is so good. For the split second, you see like his eye twitch and him like regret everything for a second, but then he realizes he's gone too far, or at least in his mind, he thinks he's gone too far. So then he starts choking him out. It's like, where is the scroll? And then fucking you hear, and then hey, hey, and then you hear breathing, heavy breathing. Are you looking for this? And it's just Poe, bro. It's so good. And then their whole fight is incredible because it uses stuff from the movie. It uses the pan scene where Shifu was doing the bowls, and they use the pans there.
Oh, it's
And
no,
he
it's
uses his
great.
love for food and his imagination, imagining the cookie as the scroll. And it uses the fireworks stuff from when it was like when he used the fireworks to get into the Furious Five ceremony to choose the Dragon Warrior. It calls back to that. It calls back to so many different things in that one fight. And then the whole he can't be like Tai Lung can't use this technique because Poe's too fat. Like it's just incredible. And then when Poe is like, "No, I'm not. I'm just not just a big fat panda. I'm the
The
big
big
fat
fat
panda."
panda.
Skadoosh. Skadoosh is so iconic, bro. Jack Black is incredible. Angelina Jolie is incredible in her like 2 lines in that movie. Freaking
Jackie Chan, literally
Jackie Chan is
three
incredible in his
lines.
1 line. Fucking so all the
And I
characters
forgot who
incredible.
fucking Mantis was, but yeah, like all of them
Mantis
respectively.
is
Like,
Seth Rogen.
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Lucy Liu is Viper. I forget who plays Crane, but
I think
anyway, and then
Crane is David Cross, the
oh yeah, you're right.
Chipmunks guy. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Mr. Pitt, and
No,
then Mr.
Angelina
Ping.
Jolie. No, Tigress did get a lot of lines. I mean,
She only got a few in the first movie. She
she
got a
was
lot more
this.
in the second
Yeah,
movie.
she was the. I mean, the leader. But yeah.
Yeah, and then also in the first movie, the fucking whole message being like there is no secret ingredient to make something special. You just have to believe it's special. Bro, that goes so fucking hard. That's such a good lesson to teach anyone. That you should
I'm not
believe in yourself as he
disagreeing.
looks
I'm
at the
not
scroll and it
disagreeing.
like reflects back on
It
him.
belongs in
And
S. I
then
understand.
and then you also have like frickin' the famous quote of like noodles, don't noodles.
Yes.
Quit, don't quit. You are too concerned with what was and what will be. There's a saying. Yes, no. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. That is why it is called the present,
He's
bro.
doing everything he can to get us to 5 hours. Now,
Yes, man, I can quote these fucking movies till I
I can't.
die.
I don't want to stay up until I die. Okay,
Okay,
listen.
and then Kung Fu Panda 2,
No, you're not
you have
reciting the
fucking
entire film. You're not reciting
I'm
the
going
entire
to. I'm
film.
doing this because you questioned it. I'm doing this because you questioned it.
I
You're gonna
did.
sit
I,
there and listen to me talk about these films.
I didn't question you. What the hell?
You're gonna sit there and listen to me talk about these films.
Jesus Christ.
So, in the second movie, it's all about Poe learning who he is and learning about his true family. And at the end of the day, he still realizes that he is his father's son and he is his own person no matter what happened in his past. And he stops doubting himself. And the whole Tigress and Poe relationship in that movie is just fucking incredible. Where Tigress shows that she actually does care, but Poe thinks she doesn't care because she's so hardcore and hides her feelings most of the time, and it's just so good. And the whole inner peace thing is incredible, and Shen's whole thing is awesome. And when he dies, like when he's about to die, you can literally just see him close his eyes and accept it, and it's so sad because he's like a tragic villain at the end of the day, just like Tai Lung, and they do that so well. And then 3 is about
No, no, we're
co-parenting.
not going. Not I only mentioned 2 and 1. Okay, I understand. They are great films. There's some ups and downs. 1 and 2, I agree with you, are the best. It does belong in S. I just cannot put it any higher. But I know because I know you're not going. Listen. Yes. Okay. It's a great placement. I mean, it's in front of a boxing movie, so I mean, it's a great placement.
Okay.
So this one here, I'm not gonna explain too much. I'm getting tired. Okay, I'm not gonna explain too much, but it's so Kingsman. It's mainly the Kingsman trilogy because technically there's 4 movies. So there's Kingsman: The Secret Service. Golden Circle is the second one. We just watched the scene where Merlin dies and he sings Country
It's so
Road.
funny. I
Amazing
love that
scene.
scene.
Then there's Kingsman 3. I'm forgetting what the fuck it's called. Um Hey guys, what's up? It's RedBeard. Sometime in between recording this week's podcast, the OBS crashed on us, stopped recording about almost 4 hours into the pod, and well, we were not even finished with the tier list. Unfortunately, it's decided not to continue the rest of it, and we were almost done. But I've decided to add this at the very end of the podcast since we had no desire in redoing it, and we want to still be able to upload a video and a podcast episode this week. So I'm just going to give a summary of the tier list that we decided. Unfortunately, you all missed a lot of good discussions on these films that we liked. It's very unfortunate that we didn't get to finish that, but I'm just here to say what we decided was our picks in the tier list. But in S tier, we had at the very top was How to Train Your Dragon, the entire series. We had the Lord of the Rings trilogy. We had Avatar. We had Revenge of the Sith. We had the Spider-Man Spider-Verse films duology. We had Big Hero 6. Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, and also Guardians 3, which was a personal pick of mine. At the top of A, we had the Kung Fu Panda series. We had the Infinity War and Endgame duology endings. We had a Silent Voice. We had the Wild Robot. We had the Pirates of the Caribbean original trilogy. And we had At World's End, which is Pirates 3, my personal pick. We had the Sonic trilogy. We had the Inside Out movies. We had the Harry Potter franchise. We had Star Wars, the prequel trilogy. And we had The Dark Knight and Mad Max Fury Road and Rocky 1 through 4, or the Rocky series in general, but excluding Rocky 5 and Balboa. In B tier, we had the Spider Man Raimi trilogy. We had the Hobbit trilogy. We had the TASM, or the Amazing Spider Man duology. We had Transformers trilogy. We had the Steven Universe movie. We had Kingsman, the Secret Service, the trilogy in question, not the 4th movie, which is the Kingsman. We had Black Mass. We had Klaus. And at the top of C, we only had 2 options. We had Brother Bear and the Halloween trilogy. And our honorable mentions, we had Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Escape from Planet Earth, Fast and Furious, specifically 5, 7, and 1, Braveheart featuring or starring Mel Gibson, Bolt, Disney's Bolt, the Ice Age trilogy, which is 1 through 3, Cars 1, and The Incredibles 1. Most of our discussions got corrupted and cut out, unfortunately. The podcast was longer than we thought. We recorded almost 5 hours of content. Krodok had to go. We're getting very tired. The best thing we could have done is ended it this way instead of ending it prematurely and not giving you a podcast episode. With unfortunate circumstances, we didn't have the outro that we wanted, and we didn't get to finish strong as we wanted. In the future, we will probably hope to not record as long. But yes, that is our list. If you agree, leave us comments down below. If not, leave your pick of what you think is the right places for this list. Again, this is the Beard Bros list, and our personal opinion. Follow me on socials at I am RedBeard on YouTube, I am RedBeard22, and on Twitter. Follow Krodok at Krodok on YouTube or Krodok55. Krodok has mentioned that he is doing some things on his channel, so please go over there and follow him. He does a lot of great gaming content. He is going to be reacting to wrestling content like NXT, SmackDown, any kind of wrestling content he's going to be reacting to. He'll be posting it to his channel. Next week we're going to be doing the PLE predictions for Backlash 2025, and the title will be up for grabs once again. Unfortunately, he's not here; he has left. But yes, unfortunate circumstances. Sorry that the podcast has to end like this. But we will be prepared for the next time not to record as long as we do, and hopefully OBS doesn't run its course on this. So, hope you all enjoyed what we could add this week into the podcast. We will see you next week. We'll catch you in the next one. And on my behalf and Krodok's, peace. Fuck your story.